Sorry. My mic wasn't on. Hey, y'all. I'm a little bit hot. I just got finished mowing grass, so I'm a little bit later. But we are early. Supernova, you're right. We're getting started early because your girl is currently on the East Coast. And I don't know how y'all do it with me. I thank you. I thank you every single week when y'all do it with me so late. But I don't know how. I could not have started at 9 p.m. tonight. Okay. Let me turn this air off. Ooh. Because it sounds crazy. I got y'all. I was trying to hear how it sounded. Shout out to y'all for rocking with me. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in to another All American Homecoming live stream after show. Now we just gonna have to stick with this little Narnia horror movie look. This is the best I could do. I was trying to get my camera together. It wasn't trying to work with me. So we here. It looks a lot different than what it typically looks like. But you know your girl's on the move. She is traveling and doing the best she can. So, hey y'all. Welcome in. Hey Kofi. Hey Angela. Hey Kendra. Oh, I didn't go live on my personal channel today. I need to do that. Lord help me. Where's my phone? I just had it. Hey Cindy, good evening, boo. Hey Money Green Tay. Hey Kimberly Felder. Hey Edit Sexy. Y'all don't mind me looking crazy. I literally was just mowing grass. I have a flight in the morning, so I'm trying to take care of a couple things. Your girl is tired. There's so many things going on. Hey Cendrika. And I'm just doing my best, child. I'm just doing my whole best. Drop your ratings on a scale of 1 to 10 for last night's All American Homecoming episode 6 from season 3, New Normal. How y'all feeling about it? I dropped the breakdown and a lot of people were feeling it in the comment section, so we are on the same page. There's one person who posted a comment that I don't understand, and I'm going to try not to let certain things like this get to me. But I'm human. And that's something that I just have to like register and accept and roll with in the moments that I'm rolling with it. If y'all don't know, like this past week I've been struggling with my dog and his health implications, health issues, and get into a place where I might be having a conversation of like his end of life, which is it's just a lot for me, and it's an emotional thing. We had a follow-up appointment today. I'm going to talk more about it on my personal channel because y'all here to talk about All American. But going back to this comment, like this person wrote this whole long comment about how nobody's going to gaslight them into believing that this episode or this show is still good. Nobody's going to gaslight them into believing that Simone having cancer is a good story. Nobody's going to gaslight them into believing that Damon leaving was the best thing for the show. And I'm like, yo, y'all be hearing what y'all want to hear. And not everybody, but like some people be hearing what they want to hear. And I read that comment and I just felt so demoralized. Like, I literally asked a question. I don't believe that Peyton leaving was the best thing for the show, but I am noticing that once they don't have the love triangle to rely on, were forced to come up with something else. And I would love to have that conversation, which is what I said in my breakdown video. So how did it become a whole me saying that it's better, the show is better now that Peyton is gone, and me trying to gaslight people into believing that the show is great? It's like, if you don't like it, cool, but like, leave me the hell alone. Because it's by the skin of my chinny chin chin that I'm even getting these videos out at a time where financially I'm being strained to do different things and like show up for my dog. I'm traveling, like a lot of things is actually going on. I don't have time for people's bullshit on the internet. Like, I really don't, especially about a fictitious show. So if you're watching this, I read your comment and relax. Because it was never that serious. It's never that deep. For me to be a person who has been very critical of the series in season 2 and coming into this season and just now turning a corner with feeling like, okay, this is something that's not actually a waste of my damn time to watch. And then for you to get on there and like make this whole dissertation about how I'm trying to gaslight people into believing that the show is good. It's like, take my criticism or don't. Take my commentary or don't. Like, but trying to beat content creators over the head over what they think versus just going and creating your own platform and saying what the hell you think on your own platform, that I just don't understand why you don't go do the latter. And I had to catch myself because I'm like, this is exactly what's going to stop me from posting. And that would be a shame and a robbery for me. But then also for y'all, like the people who are really supportive, the people who have been patient and graceful and like offering me prayers during this time and understanding like emotionally I'm in just a very volatile place, and like respecting that and treating me like a person and handling me like a damn person. Me to just decide to stop would compromise that. It would compromise that relationship. It would compromise just what I'm building. So I had to like remind myself of like, Erica, no. But that is something that definitely comes up. Like when I start getting too much like unrealistic like hate for no reason, and like you're saying I said some things that I never even said. You heard what you heard, whatever. It's like it becomes a point where, is it worth it? Like I have only but so much mental capacity, right? And I can only hold so much space in my head. And this is not something that I need to hold space for. So it will get dropped. And that's just a little real something, y'all, that I went through today and going through the comments. And I felt so bad because I'm like, dang, I haven't been on top of the comments and responded. And as soon as I go into the comments, that was like the third comment I saw. And I'm just like, girl, nobody's trying to gaslight you. You don't have to agree with me. Nobody ever has to agree with me. Ever. That don't mean that I'm going to change my opinion. Woo. Shawty said the way I just got excited. Welcome in, boo. Hopefully I didn't damper the mood. I just had to get that out. Hey, Isania. Hey, Keish. Hey, Kendra. Kofi's giving it a 9.5. Keisha's giving it an 8. Kendra is giving it a 9. Angela's giving it an 8. Hey, Kenny. Kenny gave it an 8.5. A solid 8.5. Jazz Jordan gave it an 8. Cendrika gave it an 8. Kimberly Feltis giving it an 8.5. Okay. It's like, it's given that we all see each other. Kimberly, I think I just said you were 8.5. Kay gave it an 8. It was definitely emotional. Sade gave it an 8.5. Thank you so much, Cindy. Thank you. Do they know the definition of gaslighting? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because how am I gaslighting you just by saying my opinion and telling y'all what random thoughts came out while I was recording the video? I literally said in the video, I'm not saying that it's good that Peyton left, but what came to mind for me, and I have to process it. We can unpack it on live. Now that y'all take out the scapegoat, y'all take out the little dependent shipping. Now y'all got to write. Now y'all got to come up with something. I think that there's something to discuss there. No shade to Peyton at all. And I'm not even saying that the show is better without him. I am saying, though, they're doing a much better job of writing for specific characters now that they're not relying on the crutch of the ship. Money Green Tay gave it a 9. It's never that deep over a TV show. Never. Kofi says, I'm convinced that Kesha likes JR. I clocked it. Yes, you did. You did. She's that girl falling in love. And honestly, I understand why. I really understand why now. Like, before I'm like, all right, Kesha, not too much. But now, I get it. And now Eric will be on the East Coast. Yes. I'm on the East Coast for the next couple weeks, child. Bouncing around. Hey, Shari. Shari gave it an 8. Kesha definitely wants to be in Gabby's shoes. Ooh! She wants to be in Gabby's shoes so bad. And I'm just like, you don't never want to be another, but I get it. He knows the little fit and fiction that you into. He being so specific. But the crazy part about it is Cam is capable of doing all these things, but you didn't know what to ask for. And Kesha is so compartmentalized and private about certain things. So like, I feel like she only is not getting all of this. I mean, granted, okay, let me think. Cam is definitely a Crenshaw boy, right? So he ain't, ain't coming up with on his own to put on some petticoats and a little bit of stockings and like cosplay. But I feel like Cam do got romantic bones in his body. So like Kesha could be getting some of this. But I feel like part of what JR just figured out, because she likes a lot of the same things that Gabby likes, she ain't never shared with Cam. I don't know. Nate and Thea are real. Yes. I hope that nothing comes back on Thea for covering for Simone in this way. Hey, Antonio. Mac, it's getting better. You might got to tune back in, Mac. It's getting better. The last 2 episodes were straight fire. Can we give Thea the MVP because she's a real one? Kobe, I'm worried. Thea is definitely a real one, but like the way that you've been hollering about it, I'm worried that you are giving her flowers and her 10 so that she can maintain this lie for Simone, and I don't like that. Antonio's like, I was like, y'all early today because I'm still at work. Now it makes sense because we're in the same time zone. Yes. Antonio, you gave it a 7 out of 10? I also got a flight in the morning, y'all, so that's also why I'm like trying to get it in a little bit earlier. Because your girl is like on the move. Kenny says, I understand why Kesha likes JR to a certain extent, but she needs to stay in her lane. She need to leave Gabby man alone. I love it. Where y'all want to start today? Who y'all want to start with? What you want to start on? I'm going to open up the Discord early too. Because I did drop my breakdown video. So for the most part, yes, I feel like it was fire. Do y'all think, drop the fire emojis in the chat if y'all feel like the last 2 episodes been fire, or is Erica gaslighting everybody? The fact that they even use gaslight is like, wow. You could just not agree with the opinion, child. You might have to tap in because the premiere turned you off. The premiere was a hot mess. A hot mess. Let's start with JR, Kesha, and Gabby. Child. Yeah, I'm here for it. Let's start with them. I am actually just really, really proud of JR. And I feel like now I have to eat my words because I really 100% didn't think he was capable of this. Like last week's episode, I was like, okay, JR, like, but now I'm like, oh, maybe this is actually in you. Maybe you have been capable of this the whole time, but you have just been woe is me about baseball so that you couldn't let your full self shine. And now we're getting to see your full self, and now it's worth something. Oh, all right. Like, I like this. And it could also be, y'all, just the trickery of him deciding that, you know, Gabby is pulling away, which, you know, clock the tea of why do we have to move a little bit different? Why do we have to move what you would decide is distant when it's just, we just taking care of ourselves, giving you the same energy you giving us? We not overdoing it no more because you was just, you know, dragging our name through the mud and all pissed and building resentment when we was doing too much, when we were overzealous, when we were a little bit, you know, in your face about certain things. But then the moment that we pull back and we just be normal, now we distant and you want to pull up all the stops. Okay. Can we get this type of energy without having to shift any of our energy? Can you match the persistence? Can you match the dedication? Can you match the loyalty? Can you match the effort and attention from jump? Because this is all what Gabby has deserved from jump. I'm glad that you're realizing it. I'm glad that you're making amends. Like you decided to adjust. You didn't pivot it. You did a hard left. And said, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I do what I got to do for my girl. Not just because she got this interview, but because she deserves it. Okay, cool. But I'm going to need you to keep this energy. We don't go back now, JR. We don't go back to a space where you giving the bare minimum and you building resentment because Gabby is too attentive and too emotional and too worried and too much of a caretaker. Nah. You need to match her energy moving forward. Now, I will say that the story of watching him see that, let that land on him, and him decided to take action, I thought was just so powerful. Because a lot of times we're having conversations specifically in the Black community around romance. I hear the narrative of men of like, they don't know what to do or they can't do nothing. It's like, yeah, the power is always in your hands. You could always do something. It's up to you to decide to do something. And JR decided to act. And I loved it. I loved every minute of it. Now, roping Kesha in and having Kesha help didn't help her cause in reference to like giving her more reasons to fall in love with this man. But he utilized all the resources available to him so that he could bring the most ultimate experience to his love that she deserved. And I love that for her. I love watching Gabby get like just loved on and cared for in a way that just seems that's like super specific and super intentional because you don't get to see it, you know? So that's where I'm at with it. I'm gonna open up the Discord. If y'all want to join in and sound off about JR, Gabby, and Kesha. Dominic says I need this class. Oh, I'm so early there. So maybe the time do be working for y'all. I'm sorry. I done came early and messed it up. That's my bad. Dominic, is this a new profile on Discord for you? Because you already have you can come straight in. Like you have admin privileges, so you should be able to go straight into the call-in room. Let me make sure. Yeah, you should be able to come straight in. Hey.
Erica, this episode so good. If I have to come on the VC to talk, if I have to be the first person to talk on the VC, the episode was so good. But unfortunately, I am still in class, so I came to give my sense before I go back into the class. Oh my
Okay.
gosh, I love Nate's storyline, this arc. She related with me so much. Having someone like or hurt you or insult you, and then couple years after the fact they want to skedaddle into your life like some fairy tale, and they still and you can't even get over the fact that they hurt you, and the way how she handled it, and then Lando's advice to her, and it was, oh my gosh, Erica, I can't even comprehend my thought. It was such a fantastic episode, and I want to even give you like your flowers, because last week you were talking about. I remember you and Kofi had a discussion about Simone, why she had to get cancer. Is that the storyline that we want? And then you said, and even Keith mentioned in the chat, like that is somebody's storyline. That is somebody's like life. Having cancer at such a young age. And I think I am kind of privileged because I don't think I had a family member um who went through that. So to see Simone go through that and to see everyone be there for her, it honestly opened my mind and really, made me not think that in such a way, because that could happen to somebody in my family, God forbid.
Mm-hmm.
So that in the episode was fire. I mean, I understand that she want to do what she have to do, and I'm not trying to be harsh on Simone, but oh my gosh, this episode. And then why when they one leave, all of a sudden all the men, all the black men in the friend group have common sense. All the black men know how to articulate and able to be show up. What's happening? Why all of a sudden the man leave to go to Dominican Republic in the Caribbean?
Right.
They all have common sense.
Literally.
They all have common sense. How Lando know how to help Nate with her situations, with her issues. Like I mean, I know that Orlando only sees about Simone, but to hear Lando tell Nate to say, "Hey Nate, you have this issue. Okay, tell me about it. Tell me." And she was able to help tell Lando what was his situation, and Lando gave good solid advice. And I'm like, this is a story that we need to see. So
Literally.
this is the
And I know I
story.
made the comment about if Damon gone, like they can't rely on the ship anymore. But now, like when you really think about it, and this is why I want to unpack it, it's like it sucks because if he was here, like, could you imagine this friend group? Could you imagine a Lando that had opened up and was like offering up great advice and actually gave a damn about these friendships? And then JR is in a solid place. Like watching those three men navigate life on campus would have been so amazing to watch.
Listen, Hannah, Erica, I was so excited. I'm excited in the workplace, ready to talk about the episode. I'm excited for the class to finish. We can talk about the episode and
Okay.
oh gosh, the class start back. class start
Okay.
back, so I have to go. Well, I
All
hope the
right.
life is going well good. Have a blessed night, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. Oh wait, what am I doing? Okay, move that. Hey Mac. Hey Kenny. Hey Kenny. Hey Kofi. Thank you, Dominic, for popping in. If we're still on, make sure you come back after class. Hey y'all, can you hear me?
Yo, what's up?
Yes.
Y'all want to sound off? Y'all can sound off about anything, but particularly I had talked about Kesha. No, I talked about JR and Gabby, but JR, Gabby, and Kesha.
You want to go first on this? I'm gonna hold my
What's
thoughts.
up, Erica? How are you?
Hey, I'm good. I'm good. Hey, Cindy, welcome in. Y'all want to sound off? Y'all can sound off about anything, but particularly Mac, you gotta mute the YouTube, or you mute yourself while you're not talking.
All right. So
Who wants to
I'm
go
keeping a
first?
stack.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I can go first, I guess. Yeah, I can probably go first. So I haven't watched this show at all, really, since probably like the premiere, because man, that premiere was terrible. But other than that, like I read like a wiki in like the past like 5 minutes, and honestly, might have to tap in because
Yeah.
we have an actually like good cancer storyline, which I might have to tap in on that. I'm not a fan of the Kesha and JR stuff. I feel like they're reaching with that because like at least to me, I saw what they were doing with it in the first episode, and to me, it kind of feels like they're pulling that out of nowhere because they had the whole like time skip thing that I feel like wasn't addressed well. That was one of the big problems that I had with the premiere was that time skip. But because like it felt like so much development happened, but the writers like did a terrible job of explaining it. So now there's like this tension between them, and we don't know where it's from. But yeah, I don't.
So
I don't
tonight's
know, because,
the
like, I
last
was
night's
always a fan of
episode, I
Cam.
think,
He
provided
was one of my
much
favorite
more.
characters. Now I feel like Bro is about to become like a D1 crash out over over JR and Kesha. So
Wait, Matt, can you hear
we
me?
got that, and other
Matt,
than that,
Matt, can you hear
I
me?
don't know. I still think it's weird how
Mac,
a lot of the cast has become a revolving door.
Mac, can you hear me?
It's about to become like a D1 crash out
Mac.
over JR and Kesha. Wait, Matt, can you hear me? Got that, and Matt, can you hear me? I don't know. I still think it's weird.
Okay, Mac, you're like unmuted, so we hear the YouTube in your mic, but I don't think that you can hear me here. No worries. No worries. So going back to your point about Kesha real quick. I think last night's episode provided much more insight in reference to where okay, hold on. You gotta mute, babe, because I can hear myself. It's giving me feedback.
But I don't think that you can hear me here. No worries.
I'm gonna move you down until you gotta mute the Discord when you're not talking, so that you can still hear the YouTube.
Provided much more insight.
Okay, I'm gonna move you back until you figure that out. Okay. Hey Shy, welcome in, boo. But to go to Mac's point, Mac, once you figure out the working of the wait, what happened to my Lord? Oh Lord, hold on, y'all. My computer screen went black for a second. I don't know what's going on with it. I don't know what that was. Okay. I think we're kind of back. I don't know if that was because of the light or what. But going to Mac's point about Kesha and JR kind of coming out of nowhere. Oh, let me join back in here. To Mac's point about Kesha and JR coming out of nowhere, I think last night's episode provided more insight, and I appreciate where they're at in reference to this story because it's less about JR. Like before, it felt like they have her falling for JR just because they got close and she gave him some bone marrow. But last night's episode started to provide the context to me of like, it's how insightful JR is. It's the him showing up and offering the most perfect thing to say, doing the most perfect thing in the perfect moment. And he only has certain access because Kesha approached it as a friendship. So when I'm really starting to think about it and like unpack it right now, right? Like I'm thinking like Keisha's in a romantic relationship with Cam, but in her mind, she could have certain things built up in reference to expectations of how romance is or how relationships with men are, period. And with JR, he's able to slip under the radar and not necessarily get the same expectations that other men that she interact with would get. One, because she, you know, got closer to him upon being sick and giving him bone marrow, cool. And now he has gotten more insight in reference to her as a person, to the things that she wants to do, to the things that she's struggling with. So he's there to offer insight, offer kind words, offer all the things that make her feel really good in the moments that she needs it. And Cam can't necessarily do that because she has put him in a certain place as it pertains to this relationship and doesn't really give him the same amount of information that JR has. And for me, again, last night's episode pointed more to her falling in love with the idea of somebody fully getting her without her feeling like she has to work at it versus her falling in love specifically with JR. Now, I don't know if y'all have any thoughts about that.
All right. I'm gonna go next.
Well, about what I'm saying, like before you go to your point, like specifically talking about what I'm saying right now.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I see what you're talking about. Like, it's very, very clear, and the beats that were given in this episode, everything you laid out, I agree with. And frankly, initially, I didn't think that that was the direction they were going with. I just felt like, you know, they were just gonna, you know, play up the friendship a little bit, like the fact that she gave him the bone marrow and that, you know, she did a very selfless thing, and that they were going to keep those vibes together. But but the way you laid it out, I can now see why she's feeling the way she was feeling. Initially, when I watched the episode, I didn't think about her mother.
Me either.
Until JR brought it up, and then I'm like, damn, I forgot. Like, I legit
did we
forgot
know that though? I'm confused. I'm like,
well,
did we know her mom died of cancer?
No,
right.
I don't know if that was made to stop. I know her mom died because they did that remix family dinner in season 1, but I don't know. I don't remember if Zeke mentioned that she died of cancer. So when JR brought it up, I'm like, oh, this is
that hit me like a ton of bricks. I was like, oh, now this changes everything.
Yeah. So that's why she was acting so weird, because initially I thought this was coming across as either jealousy or she was starting to pull back because she was starting to feel some things. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then JR clocked it. I'm like, oh, now this is making sense. So, yeah, this is that look back she did when she saw Gabby and JR. That did it for me. I'm convinced she is falling in love with this man, and this is going to be a problem. And we haven't even gotten to Cam confronting her about JR being there at her dances. So this isn't over. Like, we got so many layers to pull back from this, man. We haven't even scratched the surface.
How's everybody else feeling? Hey, Antonio, welcome in. How y'all feeling about Kesha falling? Are y'all starting to understand the storyline better now, or you agree with Mac of like it came out of nowhere?
I think they've done a good job of setting it up from the very beginning. I think they did a good job at teasing it because, like, from the very first episode, like, you could see that there was something there. Like, you couldn't put your finger on it, but you could spot it. And I think last week we were really talking about, like, we don't really know what's going on, but we know that we don't feel comfortable in it. Like we don't like what we're feeling, what we're seeing, and we couldn't quite explain it. And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this episode kind of like peeled another layer off the onion, in a way where we can see from Kesha's perspective why she's falling for JR. And I could see it from the very beginning that she was tipping her toes into JR's heart, or he was tipping his toes in her heart, whichever, but like I could see her falling for it. And I don't know, like I understand why she's falling, but that ending scene of her standing listening in on Gabby and JR, it just gave me the ick. Just the image of it just gave me the ick. And I'm just like, oh, like I feel for her and I know where she's coming from. Cause like I've been there before where I've been friends with someone and then they end up falling for somebody else and being in the predicament where you want to be there for that person, but you're like you're never gonna be 100% genuine, because at the back of your mind you're always gonna have that lingering thought that like you want something more that you will never get. And it
Mm.
just makes it even worse for Kesha because she's also in a relationship that's going on close to 3 years now, like
Yeah.
someone that I think is fully capable of doing some of the things that JR does, but she just doesn't give him that same opportunity. And she's been moving crazy with Cam season one, season two. So I
Yeah.
know you have empathy for her now, Erica, but like my smoke, my smoke
But
is
not
still
too
there. Like
much.
not not too much. We can't wipe all her slate clean because of this one little thing that she got. Like I can give her this one little thing, but I also think it's gonna be interesting if the writers do show us the other side of it, because we haven't really seen Cam like process a lot of the things that's been happening in their relationship, and we've mostly seen it through Kesha's perspective, which I love. I love the storyline. I love seeing it, but I would also want them to expound upon it from Cam's
Yeah.
perspective as well, because it would be great. Because he's a good actor, and I think that if they gave him good material, he could do wonders. And I think it would be great for men to see that as well.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, so we're not gonna wipe the slate clean for Kesha. I think that Simone entering this era and what that is doing, like how that's reverberating into the group, really hit me in this episode. And then realizing this about Kesha, because a lot of what Kesha does, I don't fully understand. I am not necessarily a Kesha girl. Like I was not really male identified, and like I went to school in New Orleans and turned up a little bit, but like was never the party girl that just wanted attention and like I just don't understand her walk. So for me, I think it's interesting to finally understand a piece of Kesha that like can actually make sense for me, and like I can connect to her in this way of being spurred or being pushed by the trauma of losing her mom. Specifically to this, it made so much sense to me, and how she's not about to push back in anything that Simone says, because she lost her mom when she was younger and everybody said that she was going to be okay, and she's trying to figure out how to behave to not make that happen again. Not that she's putting it on herself, but like psychologically we do that to a certain extent. So I just can see so clearly right now, and I've always thought that Kesha was a girl. Unfortunately, with the relationship with Cam, I always thought that she was the girl that was going to learn how to be in a relationship with her first healthy relationship, which is Cam. So now it's like we're getting to the place of, yes, she's about 2 years in, 2.5 years in maybe, to this romance with Cam and to this relationship, and it has been a rocky road, but she's discovering things about herself, learning things about herself, and it's unfortunate, but like JR is providing additional perspective, so now she can have the language for certain things, and she can. In my breakdown, I was like, she's not even giving him an opportunity in like speaking to what she needs. It's like, but she also don't know. Like so much of this Kesha don't actually know, because she's never operated in this place before. She is just now finding home within healthy relationships. So I'm just keeping that in mind, Shot. Like I ain't going to erase everything, but keeping that in mind and keeping how much she does not
Yeah.
know and how much she just has way more experience being the girl that like goes from guy to guy and turns up, and not the girl who's in a committed relationship and can show up fully for herself.
Points were made. Mm.
Points were made. What I'll say, I agree, but to a certain extent. And the reason I say that is because I still think about the other side of things, which is, Cam is capable of giving Keisha what Jia is given. If there is honesty, which we have seen throughout the season and even in season 2 and season 1, Keisha doesn't really lead with honesty. And I guess for whatever reason, which I could understand, when you have a friend, I feel a lot more comfortable. Well, me personally, I feel more comfortable being like fully honest with my friends. I guess it feels like it has less stakes than a relationship, but at the same time, in you can expect something from someone when you aren't fully honest. And that's like where I kind of draw back. But I do understand why, she likes Jaya, because he really has a good insight. He really takes the time to be there for his friends. So I mean, I get all of that, but at the same time, on the other side of it, it's kind of like, my boy Cam doesn't really deserve this,
He doesn't. He really
He,
doesn't.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, like, I just feel like she hasn't really given him a fair chance, especially what we've seen before in the previous seasons. I feel like he just does not catch a break with Keisha, and for them to go in this direction. I will say though, I feel like this episode was an unexpected turn. Because I was like, okay, Keisha, I understand. I see where your feelings are coming from, and I see how how like she's been triggered
Mm-hmm.
by this entire experience firsthand, having someone, you know, going through cancer, and then that kind of reflecting and reminding her of her own mother, and for Jaya to be there in that moment, but then also it be conflicted with, Cam not really talking to her. But in all fairness, Cam kind of has the right to, be a little standoffish now because a lot of
Yeah.
lies were told.
Yeah.
It's just unfortunate timing is the only thing.
That part.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's really unfortunate timing.
Yeah, this was
But
a bad time to give her the silent treatment, my guy.
yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
you can't really blame him for that because everybody
yeah,
sees life through their own perspective. And in his perspective right now, we don't even know because this is the first time um we ever really hear Keisha talk about her mom. So
Mm.
we
yeah,
don't know how much information she gave to Cam. Like we as the audience is just now fully understanding the magnitude that it has that it had on her when her mom passed and how her mom passed and how that impacted her, right? We don't know if she shared those intimate details with Cam. And from his perspective, he's
yeah,
been offering olive branches. Like, even if we don't go all the way back to season 1 and season 2, at the beginning of the season, he's been offering himself, he's been offering space for her where she could be comfortable, where she could where she could share all of herself. And she keeps turning him down. So now that he got a glimpse of how much she's willing to let JR in from his perspective, and from what he's feeling, it's completely valid for him to want to take some space and try to process how he's going to handle it, or if he wants to even confront her about it. And like Simone
Yeah.
is his friend as well, so he's also dealing with that. Maybe not on the same magnitude as Kesha, but he's known Simone for longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it also has an impact on him. So I think it's unfair to put one over the other when we don't fully know like what Cam's experience is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Very
don't
true.
fault him. The crazy thing is, it's like, I really don't fault him for being distant, for deciding to, you know, give Kesha a little bit of what she had been giving him. It just sucks that this is the timing, because this is the moment where he actually could turn a corner with her, and she's a little bit more open and raw, being triggered by Simone's prognosis and the tie to for her mom. So it just sucks in reference to timing. But yeah, I don't fault him for ignoring her. I don't fault him for, like, well, not necessarily ignoring him. I don't fault him for being distant, because I always will fault people for like ignoring someone. I think that if you are done, you need to be done. Like, I'm not a big fan of ghosting.
Yeah.
But I don't fault him for how he's reacting to her right now, given all that we know.
I understand. But I don't know. Something about this is not sitting right with me, in the sense that I think she's already. I won't say she's emotionally cheated, but she's already. I'm not saying she's not still into Cam, but you can see a shift. Like, you can see a certain shift. Like, even that pinky promise thing that she wanted to do with Cam, and Cam said, "I don't do that."
I'm so glad you brought that up, Kofi. I'm so
I
glad you
bet
brought
you.
that up, because you're
Yeah.
right, Kenny and Sha, and like I've also said it, of like, Cam can give a lot of what JR gives if given the opportunity. However, and or comma, he don't want to give certain things that leans a little bit more to the feminine persuasion, and JR don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And I think that
I
would
mean,
be a great example.
but I
JR
bet.
got a girlfriend. And
Unfortunately.
for Kesha being
Thank you.
surrounded by women and being off the persona of being a girl's girl, and judging everybody if let's be so for real. Knowing Kesha, if one of her girls, if Simone or Nate was doing something like this, she would have been, it would have been hell to pay, and she would have give them the 150th degree. So of course, like, I would have fallen for JR too. Like, I would have been feeling the butterflies too. But like, respect, man. Respect. And Gabby showing up and they was just there giggling. Nah, it gives me the ick. It gives me
Yeah, she's because she
so,
wishes she
so
was
we had to
her at
push.
that moment. I mean, because something shifted. Like, when Jr. clocked that you're afraid about Simone because it reminded you of your mom, and said you're gonna be okay, and you gave her that reassurance. Like, Cam wasn't. I'm not saying Cam didn't do that, but like, something about that, just something in the back of her mind, a light bulb got switched, and now I don't know. It's about to be something out. And
It
I
was
always thought
very
that,
romantic. It was very
and I,
romantic.
Yeah, so is there something
and
to be said of like wanting the experience, and that doesn't necessarily have to be tied to like desiring a person?
But does she not want the person too?
yeah, it's a little bit of both. I feel like it's a little bit of both, man. And I'm not. And Jr. is a cool cat. Like, he's found his sweet center, and even in the whole planning of the thing, you could just tell Kesha was smiling. She was looking so happy. Like, when she was doing this thing with Jr., I was like, "Yo, you look a little bit too
Well, I'm not gonna
excited
put
for
all of
her."
that on JR though. I'm gonna put half of that on, like, she was really looking for a distraction. Keisha was looking for a way to
Yeah.
really like not think about the impending doom and like her mama and like all of the things. Like, so this was like a welcome distraction. It honestly, so much of what Kesha and JR got going on is starting to feel a lot more serendipitous than they made it out to be before. Like, I feel like it's honestly the perfect storm brewing. She's looking for something to distract her, and he's just providing the great distraction, and she's going to get feelings mixed up in like this was the perfect thing right on time, so maybe this could be, and like, no, it was just the perfect thing at the right time to distract you. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I said, I think like there's something to be said about desiring the experience and not necessarily the person, because I do feel like in this episode more than others, you could see a clear thing of like, I want to be treated like this. That doesn't necessarily mean I want it to be treated like this by you. For me, the personalization piece came when he clocked the thing about her mom tied to Simone's experience. Everything else, it was like, it could be anybody doing this. I would want to experience it. But the seeing into her, that's the part of like, oh, wait.
Yeah.
You guys think at some point before the season ends, Cam's going to confront her about this whole thing? Like, you think it'll happen in the next episode or in future episodes? Because I don't think this is going away anytime soon. Like, especially if he ain't talking to her. Like,
yeah.
I mean, Cam definitely has to say something moving forward. Like, he can't just come back from his little internship or whatever he was doing and just act like he didn't ignore her this whole entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it might happen next episode, because the synopsis did mention Cam thinking that Jaya and Kesha are spending too much time together. So maybe that means that he'll bring it up. Maybe. So maybe next episode.
Oh, Lord. This is...
Addicts XD says that Kesha wasn't treating JR like he was still sick, like how Gabby was. I mean, I'm never going to penalize her for that, so there's that. I'm not going to penalize her for caring about that man and wanting to keep him on this side of...
After she had to resuscitate him back to life off her floor. Let's not.
Yes.
I'm wondering...
Of Team Gabby, okay? We've been through enough trauma, okay?
I'm just trying to figure out where JR got the inclination that Gabby was pulling away just because she didn't want his help with her internship or whatever she was doing for engineering. Like, I wonder where he came up with that.
Clock it. He should have, rightfully so, because she decided to pull back. Y'all said let him live, didn't you? Y'all said give him space. She's over here handling her big business on her own. And honestly, I think it took him to a place of like, if he was to recall the last 9 months, maybe the last year and 3 months, how many times has he helped her with homework? How many times has he carried her groceries into the room? How many times has he da-da-da-da? I think he went back through all that. And like, when she said, no, I don't need your help to practice for this interview, she probably asked him for help to do nothing. Meanwhile, you building up resentment and kicking dust at me because I'm trying to help you with I'm over here pulling your meds in a little pill pocket. I'm over here checking your heart. I'm doing all of these things. And I don't even need you to help me study or prepare for an interview. Yeah. Let's realize the amount of distance that is there, not just in our personhood, but in the amount of effort that we're both putting into these relationships and into one another. Yeah. Clock it. I said yes. As soon as he did it, I said, okay. And she did nothing wrong. You should be feeling this distance because she has been doing entirely too much and you have been doing not enough. Let's get on the horn.
Yes.
That part.
Okay, yeah. I mean, y'all got it, but I mean, it's just like, he came through. Like, he was a very nice gesture, very romantic gesture, and
Well, before I just said that, Kofi, did you think about how many times he was as helpful to her in her life as she has been to him?
I haven't really thought about it that way because I mean I haven't been presented.
Most men don't.
He's been doing that. No, I'm not saying that. Like maybe he has, but we just haven't seen it on screen. I don't know, but like it's like
my point is that most men don't have to think about that, but I promise you that Sha and Kenny and I have thought about that before providing our criticism previously. Like, this is all a part of what brought the smoke that we had for JR when we had it. Because we naturally, like, go to that. And y'all don't necessarily have to think about that.
Yeah, that's a good point. But look, I was afraid this whole Kesha and JR, I think there were going to be mutual feelings, but it looks like he's committed to Gabby as much as he is. Like,
JR is in love, honey. Kesha is about to knock his socks off with whatever little revelation. Y'all was talking about, and I didn't even want to watch the preview. I didn't watch the preview for this episode because last week y'all was like, did y'all see he gonna confess? And I said, I can't take it. Then come to find out he is not worried about nothing but Gabby.
Maybe I got
As
this
he
wrong.
should.
Maybe it's Keisha that's the one that's about to say what it is. Like, because it seems to
Yeah.
me like he's just being a friend, but she's showing more of the romantic overtones,
Mm-hmm.
which I would never have imagined because I thought it was going to be a mutual thing, to be quite honest with you, because
Yeah.
beats of this was giving me Jordan and Layla from All American, but I guess that's not what we have here. This is like one
Thank
sided.
God.
And I'm so afraid about the fallout of this if he don't feel the same way how
Mm.
how he gonna let her down gently, you know what I mean? Which is
Mm.
then that relation
Mhm.
like Cam might get the wrong idea too, so he might jump to conclusions and it's a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't even really considered at this.
There's a
Yeah.
earthquake coming to that friend group. They're gonna. I think this might shake their core.
Yeah.
It really would shake the core. But what
Yeah.
I feel like that's interesting though, because when I was watching the episode, I said, "Wow, the things that we talked about last week just coming up in this episode." Because I feel like last week, I think Erica, you asked if we thought Siwana liked Keisha more, if Keisha liked Jia more.
Mm-hmm.
And most people, I feel like, said they felt like it's Keisha that likes Jia more. And I think this episode really solidified that it definitely is her that is more having that romantic feeling towards Jia, which was interesting. I was like, okay, well, that's confirmed now. But then also, I feel like we we were discussing, celebrate how women like Gabby and always uplifted or celebrated, and about just even finding the moments to uplift those women,
Mm-hmm.
uh, or your partner in a relationship. And so I thought it was really great that we got to see her celebrated this episode and see the, intention and him actually noticing, okay, I need to step up here. I need to do more here. And I just felt like that was good, very good. That really made the episode for me because I was like,
Yes.
we need to appreciate our sisters out there, okay?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes.
And I think they do a good job of not leaning too far into villainizing anybody in like this love octagon, whatever it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Because as much as I have smoke for Keisha, I completely like understand and empathize with not too much, but I get I get it. Like I understand why she is falling for this person
Yep.
and why the
Yeah.
lines between friendship and romantic love is being blurred in her eyes. And I also love that they're not making Gabby like this crazy dark-skinned black girl that's doing like all this shady stuff that would make you want to root for a JR to actually do cheat on her. They
Mm-hmm.
present both
Yeah.
these women in such contrasting light that like on either side you could find compassion and a reason to understand like where each woman is coming from and showing like the difference between them and like how this is going to like have a huge impact on their lives and their friend group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Sade Foster said, "We can see what Keisha feels like she is missing. What does Keisha provide that Gabby doesn't?"
That is a very good question.
I
That is
don't
a
know if
very
I don't know if Keisha provides anything that Gabby doesn't, but I am starting to see what Keisha sees in JR that she don't see in Cam.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm seeing it too. Like that emotional intelligence and empathy. Like she's not seeing it from Cam, but like I said, I think
Well, I
Cam
don't know if that's
has
the case. Because
this.
Cam has a good amount of emotional intelligence and
Yeah,
effective communication. The thing that let me be clear, what I'm seeing that she don't see in Cam is a softness tied to what he, I guess, thinks is outside of his masculinity or what he defines masculinity masculinity to be. JR is a little bit more flexible with that. But I think that both of them have a strong level of emotional intelligence. Both of them are highly communicative. And I don't want to take that away from Cam, the emotional intelligence part away from Cam, because Cam is operating from half of the information. I think that he would do a lot of this. He would say a lot of the same things to Kesha if he knew what JR knows. He's just not going to kiss the fingers and wrap the pinkies and do all of that stuff. He's not going to put on the petticoat and the tights, but he going to hug you and like make sure that you good.
Yeah, because he from Crenshaw, he probably think that stuff is kind of soft, but at the same time, we see now he can be that. Like even last episode, like when all the fellas gave the girls the space to embrace Simone and be there for her, and they say, "Yo, can the brother get some love?" So clearly he has it in him. So yeah, this is gonna be some. This is giving.
So do you think that Kesha has something that Gabby doesn't? That's the original question.
Well, I don't know. I mean, both of them are great girls. Like they have, like, Gabby's like, I don't think she has a flaw. Kesha has a flaw. Like she can be somewhat, unaware, and at the same time very standoffish and projection, especially when she thinks that Cam's not doing one thing, but putting like a little bit of projection. So I don't know what would be different in a scenario in which JR and Kesha would get together. Like, I do think they would supporting one another, no doubt. But frankly, I just think Gabby's a better partner for JR in his stage of his life. That's just where I'm at. So, like I said earlier, I'm afraid if Kesha comes to her realization and decides to put her heart out there, I'm afraid how JR is going to take that and how he lets her down. And can he do it in a way which is you know too coldish where they can still be friends at the end of this, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
what I'm like, damn, this is gonna get real bad. Like, I'm not saying messy, but oh boy, it's something, to be quite honest with you.
Kenny and Sha, do y'all think that Kesha has something that Gabby don't?
I think no, but maybe I might be biased because I'm
Because
all
we stand
for
Gabby.
Gabby. Yeah, I stand Gabby very hard. But what I will say is that I feel like it's not necessarily about what Keisha could offer, but just the combination of Jia and Keisha. In my opinion, I feel like they would drive a car into a wall, and both of them won't be like looking out to press the brakes. Like somebody has to be there to press the brakes before we hit the wall. And unfortunately, I feel like the Jia Keisha combination is giving, oh, whoa, whoa, we both forgot about the brakes, we both forgot about the wall that's ahead of us. And yeah, so I feel like I'm more concerned about the combination rather than what Keisha has more to offer than Gabby, because I don't really think she does.
Gotcha.
I'm thinking about it hard because when you mention Cam not willing to go to the soft places where JR is
In
more
the
willing to
same way.
go
Not
in the
necessarily he
same
can't
way.
be soft. I think that Cam has softened up quite a bit. But they
He has.
have literally sprinkled in little bits of like, yeah, no, I don't do that. And I think that they did it on purpose.
Yeah. But I feel like for when you watch Gabby and JR, I feel like they have a good balance. I feel like he takes interest in what she's like. They have a good friendship outside of their relationship. Like they have banter, they laugh together, they have intense moments. So I feel like even when I'm looking at him and Keisha with their friendship moments, I'm just like he has those moments with Gabby as well. And we even see in the last episode, both of them were playing into her fantasy. So it's not like they can't it's something that Kesha would be willing to do and Gabby isn't. So I feel like Gabby is a more well-rounded partner for JR, but maybe the only thing I can think about is him not willing to disclose all of himself like he was doing in the earlier part of the episodes and like misjudging some of her valid, concerns. Other than that, and even in those moments, I was looking at Keisha sideways because why you have no concern of this man that almost died going on the field with no precautions. At least Gabby was there and was like, okay, coach, let us make sure that he working out like this. Like we taking note of this. What was Keisha doing? You can do
Yes.
it, JR. I believe in
Brick
you,
wall.
JR.
You can do it.
Okay, that's
Hey
a
everybody.
if you ask me, but I.
You
It
know
is
dang on well. That's one thing that the All American universe still struggles with in reference to, I guess, conversation about support. It's like support only gets validated in this universe if it's like you're unwavering going along with whatever I decide to say and do. And that part is just so frustrating to me. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, I just got 2 points and then I'll jump off. Hey everybody.
Hey,
One
Keish.
where I think it was it I can't remember if it was Micah who was speaking about the whole softness thing. I was saying that as far as Cam and Kesha, what I've noticed is that it seems like she has tried to like get soft stuff from him, and she's seen that he's not there, so she's pulled back. She's reserved. Sorry, my dog's barking.
No
She's
worries.
like pulled back, and so she's like closed off to where she sees she can be soft with JR. So she's revealed more to him, and also you were talking about Gabby and JR's relationship. Well, JR and Gabby start off as friends, where Kesha and Cam start off as screw buddies, so it's a different platform for both of them, where it was more Gabby felt her be able to be herself and JR was able to be himself with each other, where Kesha and Cam, they came at each other on a totally different vibe. So
Yeah, that's true.
Oh wow, I didn't even think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think those are really valid points. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, look at that.
So, do
I
you
learned
think that
something
the little moments of like the wrapping your finger around, like the little pinky promise with the kiss, and like what else do you feel like are the moments where she felt shut down by Cam's rejection of softness?
I just noticed, like, even in the way that he speaks to her, certain things, like she feels like he's like, because a lot of men do this, where they feel like when we are women are talking, and we might just be venting, and they automatically like, oh, you should do this, you should do that, and I think she feels a lot of times she might have just been venting to him and wanted to tell him something, and automatically he starts to tell her what she needs to do and how to fix it, and she feels like, okay, I'm being judged, I can't just be myself around you, so she starts pulling back over time.
That's real. That's real.
Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that aspect.
And it sucks
Man.
because it's like, I guess, a natural conflict for men and women, because a lot of men, especially men that care about you and want to be of use for you, they go from a place of like trying to solve your problem because they love you, and they miss the part about like you just needed to vent or being able to talk it out, because they don't register that as a very valid thing as well.
Yeah.
It's a
And
blind spot.
even then, I feel like when he is confronted with that, he is very quick to adjust it and apologize. So I think even then he has shown moments where he's willing to take it and change, where a lot of men, if you come to them and be like, oh, when you do this, I feel this type of way, or sometimes I just need you to vent. When she said that to him, that when she confronted him, he said that, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that I was doing that, and I want to be a safe place for you. where you can't tell me anything. So I think even that shows us that he's willing to change and grow along with her.
Yeah.
And that when you like
Yeah.
first started speaking, I'm like, ah. So then is that putting Kesha in a place where she is not having enough grace and creating enough space and time for Cam to come along the way that he has with her? And that's not fair.
Ooh, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a very good point. But also for me, I always say, like, in where lies and secrets are present, there isn't really it's not really a fair playing field in terms of what a person can deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like, as we've mentioned before, like Keisha isn't given full picture. And without the full picture, he can't really execute in the way that he's capable of executing. And in that way, I feel like even though we could see Keisha's side, it's still unfair because Cam doesn't have that same full picture and he
Mm-hmm.
hasn't allowed him or given him, in my opinion, the hand or, like, as you said, the grace to be able to at least try to show that he's capable of these things. I think she's more dismissive if he has a response to half the information she gave that she's not happy with, then she kind of just draws back even more, which I think is even more unfair because now you're distancing yourself when you get a response from you being deceptive or secretive or withholding information.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just makes it like double unfair, in my opinion.
And it's so
Mm-hmm.
many things at play here, right? Because I'm looking at that statement I just made and I'm like, damn, Keisha, you're not giving him any of the grace and the time and the space that he is giving you. And it has been a walk, honey, to get you to where we are now. You have been stressing us out. You have been doing the most. And we were rooting for that man to drop
Almost.
you like a bad habit a while ago. But then I
Yeah.
go back to what I said at the beginning of this and like realizing how much of this is very new to Keisha. So she don't even know to ask. I think a lot of the stuff that she is falling in love with JR, she is realizing now that she feels like it's missing or it's not actually happening in her relationship. But before it was presented to her in the packaging of JR, she didn't actually realize. I think that she subscribed to
Mhm.
we're good if we're having sex and we're smiling and we're not actually arguing about anything. And there's nothing for me to really miss or to feel like it's lacking,
Mhm.
but there is something lacking. She just couldn't speak to it until it was presented outside of her relationship. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense. And I have a question. So, based on all that, what do you think? How do you think if Cam decides to like confront her about this and the whole thing with JR and all that? How do you think that conversation is gonna go? Like, what's
Ooh.
the likely
I
outcome
don't
of
know,
that?
but let's come back to that because I want to go to Allie Nick's comment real quick. Allie just popped in, hey boo, and said Keisha treats Jr. as if he's her best friend, and that's an element that's missing with her romantic relationship with Cam. I'm curious to know if Keisha even views Cam as a friend.
And she doesn't. And we
Mm.
have to track back into season one, season two. She, how she's, and I think that's why, like, even if I'm trying to find grace for her and understand why uh, she's falling for JR,
Mm-hmm.
how she used to talk to Cam in season one and season two,
Was
and
wild
seeing
work.
how he would find grace in his heart, because sometimes I'm just like, Cam, like, what are you doing? Like, it was heartbreaking watching a black man had to like lower his head. I never forgot that dinner scene table when they were all at family dinner, and how she just snapped at him like in front of everybody. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just like, Keisha, girl, like, what are you doing? And I feel like it's been gradual in the way how she's been so dismissive of Cam and how she belittles him. Like, I feel like even now with the insertion of JR came in at a higher regard than Cam has ever been. I feel like she regards JR
Mm.
at a higher level than she does Cam, which is why it's so easy for her to find compassion for him, why it's easy for her to soften around him and be more open and vulnerable towards him. Because I look even at the earlier part of the episode when Thea was trying to pry and find out like what was going on with her, she wasn't even open to share that information, right? Until
Mm-hmm.
she went around with JR. So it's not just Cam that she's unwilling to make room for. It's many other people, and we have to now think, why is she treating JR this way and is so dismissive of everybody else?
Ooh. I freaking love like I really love that we get to unpack this on live because while you were saying that what came up for me is a little bit startling. So I also am like, should I say this?
Say it.
Nah, say it, man. This is good.
Why is Kesha still in the relationship with Cam? If she don't
Have
view him
no.
as a friend, if she doesn't give him high regard like she does JR. And that question came to mind while you were speaking. So y'all can like answer that in the chat if you want to. But like for me, I'm like, is she still in this because it's the first healthy relationship that she's been in and she's more focused on not failing at it than she is on being actually happy and mutually healthy within it? Because when I go back to some of the interactions that we've seen from them this season, even in last episode, like her consistently texting him, she's like, he told us he said we were good, but he's doing this, and she feels like she's checking off boxes sometimes of like, this is what a good girlfriend would do, so I need to do this, when it doesn't come, like it comes a little bit more natural in her friendship with JR. So I'm like, yo, she already checked out of this relationship and she's literally doing it so she's not the old Kesha that like the thought about and yada yada yada, but she like maintained a relationship because it's a good guy. He has yet to do anything wrong, but aside from JR, it isn't actually what she wants.
That's the $1 million question. Tonya, you got an answer for that?
I I don't really, man. I don't even know what to say. That's why I haven't really been chiming in because I'm just like, I don't know like what else she wants more from this dude. Like I feel like he's done all he can, and as far as like their relationship goes,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know what more he can do. I don't even know why she feels the way that she feels, so it's hard to like come up with an answer.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's why I'm just like, I can't erase, like, even if we're like on this new season and we can understand why she falling for Gerard, I'm just like, I'm still on season 2 wanting Cam to get his lick back. So for me, as a viewer, I'm just like, it don't feel right to me because I feel like this storyline should be going on with Cam and Gabby. Like, like
Mm.
give,
Oh yeah,
give
because they're
Cam
actually
some,
friends.
yeah, yeah, that part.
I don't know. In the chat, do y'all feel like Kesha is actually still in this relationship? Does she want to be with Cam, or is there something to her potentially just being in it because she don't want to fail?
I don't know if she wants to be with Cam anymore. I think she just doesn't want to say it.
And she doesn't like the optics of breaking up with him without a reason. I feel like sometimes we feel like we have to have a reason to end a relationship if everything is good and you don't have like there's nothing really pushing for a breakup, but you're just not feeling it anymore. Like, what are you gonna say to people? Like, how are you gonna explain that to the person you're trying to end the relationship with? So I feel like she's been there where she just doesn't know how to break up with him because, like, what is the reason? So she's trying to find a reason that would make sense to end it.
Yeah.
Even with the whole texting thing, like she was just ignoring his text the episode before. So I'm like, at least he responding. Yeah, it might be a dry response, but like he not leaving you on red or nothing.
That part.
Yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. It's the messiness of it all.
It sucks if
Like,
she really don't want to be in this relationship no more. Cause it's like, girl, I need you to like figure that out. Like Cam is at least old. You figuring out where you want to be, what you want to do, because he has like, I mean, but then also, what do you owe anybody, right? Like this is life. You're figuring it out as you go along.
Does
Yada
she
yada
even know though?
yada.
Is it an age
I don't think
thing?
she
Does she
knows.
respect JR more because like they're
The same
the same
age.
age? And like because she's a year or so older than Cam, she, you know, I don't know.
I mean, could be.
I feel like she
'Cause
just don't know what she want.
it's just a lot that's going on. I mean,
Even like in the previous episodes, it seemed like she was taking counsel for a lot of people, like for the fashion show and like for like the school choices and her auditions and all that stuff. It just doesn't seem like she really knows what she wants.
Like overall.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot. I mean, this is giving so many vibes. I don't know what to. I mean, like this. If that's the case, she might as well just cut the band-aid off. But I don't think she'll break it off. I think Cam's more likely the one to break it off. To be quite
and
honest with you.
he should get his lick back some way or another.
But I don't even know if that would count as him getting his lick back, because if he's just cutting his losses and she's already checked out a relationship, Cam loves this girl. He is very much so invested in her. So even if he gets the
He gave
optics
her
of being able
500
to break,
chances.
but even if he gets the optics of being able to break it off with her, it still is going to hurt him more than it's going to hurt her.
True. True.
Yeah.
Someone said in the chat that Kesha saved JR's name as unknown when she's texting him. Did you guys see that in the episode?
No. Is that
I didn't
true?
see that.
Is that
I
for
didn't
real?
see that.
I gotta
Oh,
rewatch that whole thing.
that can't be true. You know what? Now that I
What?
think about it, that might make sense. Considering, remember in episode 1 when she got that phone call and then the text message said you killed it? That might have been JR.
Oh,
Oh my god.
no way.
Yo, that,
Kesha,
No
makes,
way.
no.
it makes sense.
No way in
Are y'all
hell.
for real?
It makes sense. I mean, this is just a theory, but think about it. JR is in that picture.
He
He's the one
is.
that's cheering her
Okay,
on.
one more
So
time.
why
Say it
not?
again, Kofi. One more time. Like I'm struggling to compute.
Okay, so remember how in the first episode of this season when she got a message from a guy saying you killed it from at that dance thing, right? And then we got the revelation from last episode that
Which episode was
JR
that? I'm about to pull it up.
that was episode 3, season 3, episode 1 was the first episode. No, I think it was the second episode.
Okay.
It was the one when Lando came back. One
Okay.
of those two,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
Yeah, one of those two. Yeah, she gets that message because Cam asked her where you been. She's like saying, "Oh, I've been practicing these dance move," and then right when she goes off, she gets a message saying you killed it at the dance, right? And then we get the revelation from last episode that JR's been there watching her do her thing. But what if that's actually JR, the one that's the unknown person? Like, it would
Okay,
make
I
sense.
remember this. But we need more, y'all. Y'all need more evidence, because if this is the case, I'm about to toss Keisha's ass out with like a baby with bathwater, because there's no way. Like, y'all got to give me something else. Yes, I'm looking at season 3, episode 2. At the 51-minute mark is where the unknown text comes in from and says you were great this AM. I did not think that was JR, and I still don't think that that's JR. Y'all, what's the supporting evidence?
I mean, I don't know. It's just somebody. I mean, it's a theory, but it's like It would make sense because the secret's already out the bag in terms of
That
her
is doing
the.
too much. If she has his name saved as another name, but they're also in a group chat together, like what are you hiding it for? I can't. I'm not gonna put it on Kesha just yet. I don't know if she's that diabolical.
I'm definitely about to rewatch these episodes just to
I'm gonna be
just to
looking at
check.
her phone. I gotta
What
look
would
at
be the
all the time that number texted her because it was more than one time when that unknown person
Okay, was it the next
messaged her.
episode? Okay, I'm a scrub. I'm a scrub and I'm a look.
Because why else would she, I mean, what would be the problem if she put JR's name on there? Like, okay, he been seeing you do your thing, so but
Especially for the fact that JR and Cam have been so cool in the first few episodes. It seemed like they were dang near best friends.
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe we
Nasty
read
work.
too much into this, but if this
No,
ends up
Kesha.
being the
Okay,
case,
Kesha wasn't in
Nasty work.
episode 3.
well, it's got to be episode 2.
No, episode 2
Gotta
was
be-
the original text. I'm looking for all the other texts
Oh,
because y'all said it was
oh,
more, right?
It was more than one.
oh.
Hey
I
Dominic,
probably
welcome
was.
back in, boo. You want
I
to sound off
don't.
about something before you have to go back?
Hey,
I
Dom.
don't. I wasn't paying attention, so I don't know.
Oh, he left.
Mm. Oh man, if this is true, it's gonna be hard to be defending Kesha out here, for real.
Yeah, girl, I didn't start to give you grade shots on my ass about not too much,
I
Erica.
took my boy Cam. Okay, you have to support my boy Cam in these hard times. He's been going through it.
Yeah.
Oh my lord. I just man, there's too much going on. You got Auntie coming back. You got the kids trying to hide the fact that Simone has cancer, and now you got all this. Like, this is
Where
too
the
much.
montage at the very beginning, like All American, if y'all want to do montages from now on, that is what you do. You do
Oh, that
montages
was
that take
so
us someplace, that makes us feel something, that launches us into this episode in a gripping way. Don't give me no more whack montages about whatever the hell. Give me something that is meaningful. And I absolutely adored how they opened this episode. I said they are not about to skip time on us. What'd you say?
I thought it was diabolical. If I was being honest with you, like I understood why, but like, damn, that's y'all really selling it. Like, shit.
But they allow us to see, like, it was the showing and not the telling of what Simone is thinking. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So good.
Yeah. Dang.
It's hard to
that picture on
watch,
the
right? Like, it's
wall,
hard to
rest in
see,
peace.
but it's
Yeah.
like I appreciate, because I know exactly what she's thinking, what she's feeling. Going into her making a bunch of goofy, selfish, rash decisions this episode. I have more context.
And it's so real. Like, the unknown, it really does trigger like the worst possible outcome that you would think in your mind, like when you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I fully believe that like she was having these type of nightmares.
Yeah. Edit R says at the party when Cam saw JR and Kesha talking, JR said that he's glad Nunu has made an appearance. The way the body language and how he said it told on the both of them. Did it?
Oh.
Wait a minute now.
I did not catch that.
Me either.
I mean, it seemed like they were interacting the way that they usually interact to me. I didn't read anything more into it.
Yeah, I didn't read anything more into that there. But
now, if he was that unknown number, it's a little sussy. It's a little sussy.
Please.
Well, who's more at fault in that case? Kesha, right? Because Jared don't even know about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So, Oh God. Y'all just doing all the classic TYA tropes, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy.
I don't know. Now y'all gonna make me go back and rewatch everything.
Yeah.
But do
Yeah, if
you
that's the case, I'm
think
gonna crash out.
no, Antonio?
You cannot crash out
Hey
and Cam crash
everybody,
out. How Cam needs
what did I
support?
miss?
His support cannot be crashing out, Antonio. The leader of Cam Camp cannot be crashing out.
If he ain't gonna do
Listen,
it,
I no, I listen, Antonio. I'll stand by your side because we have to support. We have to like put on our coffee glasses
thank you.
and be positive.
Oh,
So don't worry,
yeah,
things will work out better.
hopefully. Thanks for coming in with the
Put on
reason.
your coffee glasses. Put on your positive coffee glasses. You'll get through. But what did I miss, guys? What was the discussion? I missed. I
We were
missed a lot.
just
I was like,
we
oh,
were trying to unpack Kesha, honestly, and if she's actually wants to still be in this relationship with Cam, if she's already checked out, why she doesn't look at Cam like a friend, but she looks at JR like a friend. We really have still been on Kesha in
Now
JR.
she fall in love with the brother.
Keisha.
She fall in love with she wants her some JR real bad. Like
I don't think
real
so.
Ugh.
bad. Like I want to be your girl bad. Like
But
Ugh.
why would she go through two? The thing is that why would she go through 2 seasons with Cam and then want to drop Cam at the start of season 3?
The heart wants what it wants. You know,
Ugh.
when
It's-
lust comes, you just have to let love love.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
she's Usher.
I mean, let's be real. Like, what is she going to do if her heart is yearning for JR and everything is aligning with JR? And
Well,
it's just highlighting everything that she's been seeing wrong in Cam.
Yeah.
well,
know?
she gotta let it go and stay in her lane because JR has a woman.
He
Okay.
has a girl. Because that's the part that she
He's
would be
got her.
missing in this whole thing. The part that's missing is if JR actually feels the same. So you're going to implode your healthy relate. Well, I mean, if you already checked out, then you checked out. But you're going to go ahead and
My whole
implode
thing
your
is,
situation only to be by your damn self.
my whole thing is, what has
Do
Cam
you
been doing wrong?
That is it
right?
though.
I think that's a beautiful question, Antonio, to ask. And I was just thinking about this earlier because I was listening to somebody talk about men and how men are taught to be annoying as hell to women and like wear women down sometimes, like when they're younger, and that's how you get them. And sometimes it's just she's not into you, and that's okay. Cam is not actually doing anything wrong, and that's also a part of this. Like, this is not his fault. This is a part of Kesha's journey as Kesha moves through life, figures out who she is, who she wants to be, departs from who she used to be. So this is 100% not about Cam at all. And I think if they go this route, then I hope that they lean in to reaffirming to men that there's some stuff that is outside of your control. And if it's just not meant to be, it's not meant to be because that person isn't for you.
Person is trifling.
I don't know if I'm gonna say it's trifling. The part that becomes trifling to me, sorry y'all, I'm pulling this in y'all's ear, my bad. The part that becomes trifling to me is how you handle it. But as long as we're moving through the relationship, right, and we're communicating where we're at and we're being honest about it, then that's just a part of like living life and doing life together. I wouldn't be mad at a person if I'm in a relationship with them and they're not necessarily feeling, sparks or excited, and it's starting to feel like they don't know why they're in it. I would much rather you tell me than to play games and than to go fall in love with somebody behind my back. Like, that to me is what makes it wild and trifling. But if you were to come to me and have a conversation of like, this isn't what it used to be, and I don't actually know if I want to be here anymore, I could respect that because that's just growing.
Yeah.
She might
And
need.
I don't even think she outgrown the relationship, if I'm gonna be honest. I think
that she ain't grown into it. and maybe she's getting out before she really fully realizes it. Because I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sha. Let me let you finish your thought.
Oh, no, you could continue.
Because part of me is like, Kesha came into this relationship messing up, knowing that she was messing up, seeing Cam offer her a bunch of grace. So I'm wondering how much is she carrying mentally of like not feeling good enough for Cam, not feeling like she's meeting Cam where he's at, and like getting out before she can fully actualize the partner that Cam actually needs.
Mm.
But if that's the case, will she ever be fully in any relationship?
I think one
That's the
Because
that requires less of her, yes. Because like I said this back when we started to get the hints of it 2 episodes ago, of like, no shade to JR, and like I'm starting to like enjoy his character a lot more now and see him more fuller right now. But I do believe, as it pertains to a relationship, her trying to get with JR would be a step backwards. I think that Cam requires a little bit more from her than what JR would. So she could just be stepping back and stepping to another level that she can actually handle, because she can't handle operating in a relationship next to a man who operates with such excellence and has had to pull himself up by his bootstraps and like has this hustle mentality and is like really a go-getter.
Mm.
I don't know. Those were just thoughts. Like, y'all can tell me what you think about that.
It's a fair point. I got nothing else. I mean, I think she needs to do some self-evaluation and really analyze, does she still want to be with Cam, or is her heart in a place where she's starting to feel something for JR, and she needs to reconcile that before, she keeps stringing Cam along, and it's not fair to him. So that's something she
She
needs
needs
to.
to journalize her thoughts or try to
Yeah,
understand.
I mean, you open up to
Just
JR
it's a
more than you
moment.
open up to Cam, which is another thing, which is crazy. That's your boyfriend, but oh, this is this
and
it's
that's the
giving
thing,
Usher. You make
for
me wanna.
JR, for Cam to get anything from her, he has to pull teeth. Like he
But
has
she's
to fight to get any information out of her,
yeah,
while
it,
she gives everything to JR so
all
freely. And
Jared
like,
gotta do is talk. All Jared gotta do is talk with his sweet brown eyes, and this girl melts, and then she opens up like
pack of
ain't
blood.
nothing. Oh my god, it's clear. Is this what y'all women like? Like what?
All right, Kofi, easy on
If you
me.
know too much, you know how
No, what?
the ladies will light your ass up in this VC if you just mention
Oh my
one
god! No,
wrong thing, eh?
I'm not even trying to throw shade. It's like
No,
it
but it
shouldn't
was
be this hard.
beautiful. Like how many guys can you find that will give you the space to cry and laugh within 2 seconds?
That's what I'm
Like,
saying.
Mm.
think
Like
Yeah.
about it.
Cam
Like,
can
not
do
a
this.
lot. Like that's why
True.
for me, that's why that scene was romantic. It had romantic
Yeah,
undertone because he was able to get her to release. She experienced so many different emotion in that 10 seconds before Gabby came out. Like, it wasn't even that long, and she was able to cry, she was able to laugh, she was able to get you could see her body just like collapse, and you
Mm-hmm.
could just see the big release on her. And you don't get that often, and not a lot of people can do that, which is why, I give JR props, but still, not too much because he has a girlfriend.
Well, Jared
he
ain't
has
even
a woman.
trying to do it with romantic overtones. That's just that's him just being naturally him. Like
Yeah,
that's the amazing thing. It's like he's not even doing it with romantic
intention.
inspiration,
Yeah,
so to speak. He's just being himself, which she finds attractive and reassuring, which is like, yeah, but your man can do this too if you open up to him too. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, damn. Oh,
Okay, Kofi
lordy,
coming
lordy, lordy.
around.
All right,
Oh,
Mm,
let's talk about Simone, the title character who's finally given a little something. Oh, hold on one second.
uh,
Tamara says that I'm just disappointed for Cam because this is his first real deep relationship for him to invest in and to watch unravel. I'm hoping he does become that person who will not want to give. Oh, I'm hoping he doesn't become that person that doesn't want to give himself again. I hope he doesn't become that either.
Yeah, because I mean that'd be unfortunate. That
Yeah.
would be really.
That could
It
be
will
his
break.
villain origin story.
It
Like
will
for
break
real,
Antonio's heart, like not too much. And
I don't want
That'd be his
Keisha to be
villain
the
origin.
start of his villain origin story, especially after he didn't already he
please
come
not.
from the hood. Like you got plenty of other reasons to be angry, Spencer James style. Let Keisha not be one of those.
True.
But
True.
going over to Simone, this is sick. So that's what's really keeping me off her behind. I'm still standing 10 toes down with Nate's original statement of like, girl, none of this is normal. Your life is no longer normal. You're going to have to accept it. And you do not get to just rush yourself through treatment, through everything, just so that you can get back onto this trivial ass court when this is not the very end of your tennis journey, of your, like, it won't be the end of your life. Like her running around pretending that if she can't play tennis this spring, her life is completely over. I was completely over it. Like Simone, at some point, beef for real.
Just giving JR and his obsession with trying to get back on the baseball field.
By any
That's what it
means
was given.
necessary, including if that means I'm
It's
going to be
giving that,
6
that's
feet
it.
under. Like, girl, you ain't gonna be able to swing that racket if you 6 feet under in 6 weeks either. So what you saying?
Yeah, it was set tripping. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, can I empathize with her? Yeah, I can, but baby girl, this is your life, okay? Tennis is
Literally.
just a sport. We want you to live. They need you to live. Your friends need you to live. Your auntie and your mom need you to live. So, like, I don't know why she didn't just tell coach what was going on. She would have put you on the medical red shirt. So that means you'd still be eligible to play next year once you heal.
And it
So I don't
also
know why
lines up
you.
with your little goofy plans for your damn major. You didn't decided to make a major and they let you do that. Medical red shirt, but to give you an additional 2 years to get that off because how you are a junior and just declaring your major, I do not understand. But like this medical red shirt is 100% not the worst thing that could happen to you, girl. And JR is a great example of that. Relax.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, man. It's just
I'm
crazy.
glad that you gave that insight though, Kofi, because I think when I was watching it, I was confused and frustrated because I was wondering, because I don't really know anything about like athletes and their college experience, but I was wondering, do they put so much pressure on these athletes that they don't feel like they could say or admit when they are unwell or when they have an illness? Like, is the
That
stakes
can
really
be the
this
case.
high?
So that can be the case if they're like a go-to player on what I would deem a team sport. Tennis is not really like that. Like they pull points when you win separate matches for like overall team wins, but it's not the same as like a basketball or a football. I will use myself as an example. I tore my meniscus in my senior year and I decided to continue to play on it. Not because my coaches were like forcing me to. Well, actually at the time that I like did the full tear, I had already played a couple of games. So I couldn't medically redshirt at that point, I don't think. Because I had already like engaged in play. And medical red shirt means like you get to keep a year of eligibility because you're sitting out medically and you will not participate in any activities within 1 year. And you only get 4 years of eligibility when you play in college, right? So, medical red shirt would allow for her to keep 1 year of eligibility so she'll still be able to play the following year and not have it count in reference to the running time. The way the NCAA works is your time starts once you join a team, whether you play in a game or not. If you're eligible to play, if they could put you in, then it counts. But if you medically red shirt, then that's letting the NCAA know that you're not going to play and you're going to hold off on your eligibility. So it kind of extends the amount of time. So instead of having 4 years to play 4 years, you might have 5 to play 4 years. And again, if you're not on like a team, like for me, basketball wise, like if we're defending champions and I'm the go-to player, I would feel more pressure to come back and like play through the pain versus medically redshirting. But Simone is not that. Like it's not dependent upon that. Like they're still rebuilding the program. Thea just left to go pro in the middle of a season. Y'all already are down and like trying to like work your way up. Y'all ain't win no championship. So this is the perfect time for her to actually accept the medical red shirt because the team is not losing anything from you not being there. And then you're not losing anything from not actually being there. So it was so frustrating for her to watch, for me to watch, because it's just like, you quite literally don't have to do this, but you're making it seem like this is the only option and you're stupid for it. I really do believe that you're stupid. And I hate to call her stupid, but this is stupid.
Yeah, and I mean,
Oh,
Yeah.
and real quick, going back to my point, I literally played on a torn meniscus because it happened in my senior year. I think it happened like third game in or something like that. And it was my senior year. I was getting up out of there. I had plans to go to grad school and like go on and like go to medical school. And I'm like, I cannot be still in undergrad. I had no more classes to take. Like, I was 100% graduating. So for me, it's like, I'm not about to sit out my senior season and then to be sitting around here doing what next year? You know what I'm saying? Those are the type of things that you kind of have to consider.
yeah. And if I
Okay, I
could
understand.
pull a real life example, like there's a wide receiver for the Houston Texans, John Michie III, first round pick from Alabama. His rookie year, he found out they did his annual physical before training camp started, and they found out that he had leukemia. He took a year out, went to chemotherapy, didn't lose his money. The NFL still paid him his salary, and then he came back the next year and balled out. So being sick, there's not the end of the world. Like, you can take a time to sit down and relax and like get yourself healthy, and tennis isn't going anywhere. So I didn't agree
Especially
with
because
her.
tennis is that type of sport. Like, tennis is a sport
Yeah.
of like, you quite literally don't even have to win in college to go pro. You like,
Right.
I could sign myself up right now to start to compete to go pro in tennis. Like, that's how it works. So you just have to play matches. Relax, Simone. Relax.
Yeah. And
Well, I mean, thanks for validating my frustration because I was like, maybe I just don't understand. Like,
Mm.
maybe this is the only option, but I I feel like now that you guys have explained, I understand. That maybe that my frustration was valid because I'm thinking there has to be another way. Like, this can't be like the end all be all. Like, there has to be something you can do. Like, to me, I feel like Thea was like really trying to get her to tell the coach. And honestly, I feel like Thea should have told the coach. I know that might have been crossing the line, but I feel
I
like
want her to tell
that's
so bad.
yeah, I need her to tell because I feel like that would be the best possible thing because someone needs to like relax and accept that this is what's happening and you just have to work through that. You know, sometimes it have those moments in life when something unexpected happens and you just have to pause and work that situation out. And you'll see like sometimes you come out on the other side and things end up turning out better than you may have expected. So I think she really just needed to allow it to play out more. But I can also understand if maybe she feels like this in the early stages. I don't know if maybe as time goes on, she might change her mind, which I hope she does because this really is not sustainable.
yeah,
And
and
there's
it's not
so
even
many
that.
lies that she has to keep like track of. I feel like it takes so much more energy to lie and to
100%.
adjust your schedule every single time. And then not only are you the only one lying, but now you have your friends lying for you. And now they
Yeah,
have to remember your lies. So I feel like, what is the point?
and you're
And
not even telling
Sandrika,
your
to your
mom.
point, Sandrika said it isn't normal. And no, she shouldn't be rushing for tennis. However, her basically telling her to get over it is easier said than done. It's a lot easier to say when you're not facing it. I think that that's true, and maybe it could have come out nicer, but I don't think that she was telling her to get over it. I think that she was telling her to stop running from it. Like, you are out of time in reference to running from it. And we're all here to help you deal with it. To me, Simone coming up with these kooky, oh my God, this just has to be this way, plans or whatever, is more of her not actually dealing with the thing while she's trying to like say that she's dealing with the thing and she's doing it her way. Like, I think that Nate was 100% not telling her to get over the fact that she has cancer. I think that she's like, girl, it's time to face it.
Yeah, this is your reality, and I don't like the fact that in the next episode you're trying to hide this from your auntie. Like what?
And that's the thing, like Simone be lying because you said that she was going to say something once you found out what the diagnosis was so that you have all the information. Now you didn't kick the can down the road and you're not telling because what? So I've had it. I've had it with Simone as it pertains to this because this is cancer, girl. Stop.
Yeah. You don't tell your moms, and now you're not trying to tell your auntie. Like what?
You're doing a whole fitness test and you're dragging in a regular practice and you're going into Hell Week for your collegiate sport and you're not going to tell your coach you like no. And yes, maybe Nate was a little bit sharp, but she needed to hear it very sharp because girl,
She
what?
She wasn't
Somebody
sharp.
had to be sharp because
Somebody had to
everybody
say.
in that room was saying, "Yes, Simone, whatever you want, Simone."
And then when they
Simone
all
was
be
being
sitting in the
stupid, but
emergency
she was doing.
room because she didn't push herself too hard, everybody gonna be looking around like, oh my God, what happened? You know what happened. Y'all just placated her getting on her high horse thinking that she's Superwoman and could beat cancer randomly. Also that she could hit a ball. Girl.
This
I
girl
think
said.
it was sorry, go ahead.
This girl said that 6 to 8 weeks was too long, so she gonna double up. She gonna double up on her radiation treatments. Be for real.
Be for
You
real. And everybody sitting around. Nate wasn't supposed to say, girl, no.
You think one treatment is not about to knock you on your ass, but you're gonna try to double up and then get back to tender shape within a faster time limit? No, that's not how it works. Even without getting chemo, radiation is still hard on your body. I talk to cancer patients every day. It doesn't work like that. And I understand that you want to be positive, you want to fight for your life and all that stuff, but you got to deal with reality the way it is. And
My mom's at RN. Like
telling the
she,
coach and getting medical red shirt is what's best for you in the long run because it will give you more time to do the things you need to do and do them right. That way, by the time it comes around time to get back on the court, you'll be ready.
That part.
But now, you want to half-ass it and drag your teammates down just for what?
And potentially push yourself, come back, tear your Achilles, and then what? Then you out for the rest of your life. You can never make a go at it. Like that's the part I think that nobody's thinking about.
Yeah.
You're talking about playing for this season. We're trying to get you healthy so that you can, one, continue to live, but then maybe play the rest of your life. You are dragging behind on some random suicides on a random Tuesday. And you really want to go into full-on training for a season and try to be number one? Girl. I stand behind Nate. I swear I stand behind Nate. And I understood the struggle of like, I thought that Val made a really great point of you have to accept certain things from people, especially if they're not doing what you want or what you think that they should do. That's something I feel like I struggle with as well. Because I just hate the whole process of going through the bullshit with people. Like, why can't you just do right by yourself? I don't understand what's so hard about that.
And that's why I didn't like Lando's advice, if I'll be honest. Like, it sounds cute, like the big picture, but like, yeah, Simone can be the girl that deserves to get everything she wants, but like, why does it have to be right now? Like, why can't she wait? Like, why does everything has to be instant gratification or it means nothing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also,
that's how these teenagers just think and work. Mm-hmm. They expect everything to be like no. Not. I don't know in my whole entire life where I say I want something now and it just happen now. Well, unless it happened a bank card in a ATM or something. But that's how life is.
And like, who knows? Like telling Coach Lonzy, she might actually be able to help you more.
Yep.
Like she might know something that you don't know that could be helpful to whatever it is you're going through. But keeping her in the dark is not going to help her be able to protect you.
I'm not gonna hold y'all. And this is not because I just always have I always have some little smoke for Simone. If I'm Coach Lonnie and I find out that you have cancer after you start to compete, or you had cancer after you start to compete, when I tell you you won't have no senior season because I will drop you from my team and I will not let you back on it, you would have to go to the news and like be picketing and doing all types of stuff because that breaks a certain level of trust that you have with your coach, like coach to player trust. that you would actually do this and have me going into this blind, and you are going through what you're going through. When I tell you, I don't care what she is. I don't care if she's a phenom by that point. I would drop her from the team. Don't talk to me no more. Best of luck with your career, honey.
Because she liable now. Say something, she come back early, and then something happened to her. Now they're going to be looking at Coach Lonnie like, how you just got her on the court. Now she left holding the bag.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And also, I understand that you upset, but you just going this how you really treat your friends when you down? We ain't friends no more. You gonna come at my throat because I'm trying to look out for you. Oh, if you ain't with me, you against me. All right, ho, do what you gonna do then.
Do what you gonna do.
Because it's also she's the freezing of her eggs too. Like, you don't think that's also not going to come with some complications to your health as well? Like, this is not kid stuff, Simone. Like, this is real life. This is serious. So why are you being so hard headed? Like, damn.
Yeah, because she's gonna try to keep up with this sport while also doing radiation, while also doing hormone treatment. Do you understand that that is like a double, triple wear and tear on your body? And you really think that you could keep up the times and the coordination and the ability that's required without it being suspicious? I just feel like that just doesn't make any sense. And I'm starting to realize, back to like even Erica's point, these friends give support by just saying, yes, Simone, whatever you want, girl, you could do this. When you really need a friend that's like Nate or a friend that's like Gabby, who's gonna be like, yeah, no, maybe you
Say it
should.
how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe you should, say the truth, or maybe you should look at it as the reality of the situation. You have to face what is in front of you and address that. You can't be juggling like, ma'am, you cannot be going through hormone treatments and radiation and keeping up tennis. And you also can't lie. Like, I agree with you, Erica. I would totally drop her from my team too, because you making your coach look bad. You could like really sabotage your team and you just get your team back. So that's not a good look for the entire tennis program as well. And I think honestly this kind of goes back to Simone really just thinking about herself and what she wants. And yeah, and like it's not always about just what you want and what you deserve. Like your actions have consequences, not just for you but for other people. And I think she really doesn't think about that.
Yeah,
And
culturally, you
honestly, if
must
these
get
writers do not
tired.
consider what you're saying of like this trifold wear and tear on her body, and they just try to make it like, oh, Super Simone can do anything, I'm gonna be very pissed.
That's why I'm trying not to be like too realistic, but because I work with cancer patients all the time, I'm just like I can't put it out of my head. Like you're gonna double up on radiation. Like people don't be wanting to move out of bed. Like
That's
just
what.
bruh, I'm
Yeah.
over her. She's just so selfish, and I know that she's sick, and I'm just like, but even before you being sick, you are already selfish.
You are
So
already
now
selfish, yep.
it's even
Facts.
more obvious.
Yeah,
I'm
the
just
sickness
gonna
just amplifies her selfishness.
look, I'm gonna try and put on some optimism there. I'm just hoping in this next episode that the auntie finds out what's going on and maybe she talks some sense into her and she reconsiders
Some
the
sense
call.
into her is more like it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm hoping that they find out. Like she finds
Yeah.
out, and because I feel like she's the only person that she'd actually listen to. I don't think if it's coming from Nate or any of the other friends groups, like it's gonna go through one ear and the other. But if it comes from Auntie, then maybe she'll do some real evaluation. So that's what I hope happens. Quite
Etta R
honestly,
made a very valid point. The athletic department is already having challenges, and her putting the school in a liability situation isn't smart. The school is trying to be the Harvard of the South. It don't want y'all to have sports anyway. So we're going to have a cancer patient out here fall out. all under the guise of I just gotta play, you gonna go ahead and shut down sports as a whole at Brinkston single-handedly, Simone. Congratulations, you done played everybody, including yourself. That's a wonderful point.
Coach Lonnie even more so, because like this is her career on the line. Like it's not a joke, and Simone is treating it like it's not her. She's not playing with people's livelihoods. Like I get it. Like you want to be everything and do everything, but when what you're doing is going to impact other people, then like you got to think harder. And I just hate that at the end of the episode, they make everybody succumb to what she wants. And I feel like either Nate or Thea should have stood on business. So I just hate that at the end of the day, it still goes how Simone wants it to go.
Yeah.
It's given somebody's flashback.
Ooh.
I'm just saying.
Somebody flashback.
I just want to say something and then ask a real quick question. I would have to say I definitely agree 100% with what you said, but also part of it, I'm wondering, do we think that Simone is gonna be the one to tell Auntie Amara? Or do you think one of the friends is gonna just like reveal her secret?
I think it's gonna accidentally come out.
I think so too, because I can't see Simone actually saying anything, which sucks because we
might let it slip.
They're gonna be at the family dinner, and then the auntie going to go in the bedroom and find the injection. It's like, Simone, what is going on? What is this? And the scene pans out, and then it's advertisement. I could totally see it, 100%. Or something along the lines of that. But yes, I think the friends or some in some shape or form, the aunt is gonna find out, and that's gonna even hurt her even worse. What have to say?
Edda R says, "Who's the man at the door when Simone opens it in the preview?" I don't remember. I don't think I watched the preview. Is that her father come into the picture?
Oh.
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't watch the preview. Her father, they bring her daddy down.
Do they? I didn't see that. But I mean, I suppose maybe that's what it is.
There was a man, but I don't
Cam
think
gonna let
it's
it
the
slip because
same
he
guy.
can't hold water.
No, that is a fact.
Cam.
That is a fact. Okay? Can even
Not too
keep it
much.
that secret.
I told you, saying that too much.
Yeah, Cam can even keep Jay a secret. Like he did through Kesha. That he didn't know was a secret.
But she didn't tell him it was a secret. So
yeah, that's what I said. Yeah. That he didn't know was a secret. Yeah.
Well, we shall see. Simone, I'm standing beside you, girl. I just need you to make some harder decisions. Baby girl, it's okay. You beat this, but I just want you to be smart. Your health is far more important than some damn racket and a ball. Okay.
Who?
All
American, the damage you have done.
a ball.
Yeah, and that's just the fact.
Mm-hmm.
What did we? Because actually, I don't know if this was mentioned before, but what did we think about JR's conversation with Simone? Well, I think when she was asking him his harsh truth opinion, and in my opinion, I feel like he didn't really give good advice. And but that's just me. I feel like he could have.
When what?
When Simone went to JR to ask advice on if she should try to do this accelerated situation in order to compete, and he was saying no, if it was him,
he would have did whatever the hell he could. We know.
Yeah,
we know JR.
Right, yeah. And that I feel like that's the only part of the episode where JR really was like annoying me because I was like, JR, no, this is the time for you to tell her, no, this is not the way to go. Learn from me.
No, but you see, the thing is, JR would want somebody to tell him yes. That's why he had smoke for Gabby at the earlier part of the episode, because not the
Yeah.
episode, the season, because
Yeah.
she wasn't supporting him wanting to go back to basketball, like baseball. So I
But
feel like
yeah.
JR is giving the advice that he would have wanted someone to give him.
Yeah, I think I mean, he can relate to what Simone is trying to do, so I don't think she would. So yeah, that was pretty predictable if you ask me. So
It's
Yeah.
unfortunate though,
Yeah.
because in the same episode where he is leaning into honoring his
Right.
queen and realizing that he's not showing up, it also shows that you ain't learned much of nothing from
Yeah.
this queen,
Because
because you should have passed on that to her,
I
to
thought
Simone.
we learned. And that's why I was. That's why I kind of was disappointed and annoyed because I was like, I thought we've been through this. I thought we have learned the lesson. Why are you telling someone? Yeah, you know, if it was me, I'd go after it. Like what? No.
Sometimes we have to learn our lessons like 10 times. You know, JR is that type of dude. He's still growing, you know. He's still growing.
Yeah.
He's still working on his dream, you know. So
Yeah. But I also wanted to point out. I mean, I know we're not trying to go too hard on Simone because you know she is sick, but I just really thought it was very like she's being very manipulative this episode as well. In my opinion, because the manipulation of like you know that Coach Lonnie cares a lot about academics, so you're gonna use that, take advantage of that to lie and get your time switched around rather than just seeing the truth and accepting what is happening and taking the time off that is necessary. Like, and yeah, that just annoyed me. I'm sorry.
That's real. No, I feel that.
and then coming at Thea, and Thea was right because your time showed that something was up with you. Like Thea didn't have to say anything to Coach Lonnie. Like she saw that you were still lagging behind. So you had so much smoke for Thea, like, watch me do it, and then you still flopped. So it's
Yeah.
like, girl, come on.
Yeah, like what are you doing? But also I just can't see, and I really hope the writers aren't gonna try to sell this to us, but I can't see how she is gonna be able to do all of this without anybody suspecting
Yeah.
that she is ill. Like that part is the most unrealistic thing for me. Like, yeah, sure, this is like a dream in the sky, but this I can't see how no one's gonna track that someone's up.
That's real.
As long as they don't take a page out of that girl's book, I think we'll be fine. You know, I feel like
That girl's
they
book. Yes.
Damn.
what? I didn't get the reference.
The one
That's
who shall
fine,
not be
Kofi.
named.
You don't have to get it,
Oh,
because then you're going to start coming
oh,
for us
oh,
about
That's in the
it.
past.
okay, I see. Oh
But as
Lord.
long as they don't take a page from that book, I think we'll be fine. They've been good at balancing Simone and having her actually face consequences. So I hope this is one of those growing moments for Simone. If it's
Yeah.
not a growing moment, it's going to be a page from that book where I'm Superwoman and I can do everything. No
Yeah.
consequences, nothing. 2%, 200% after a few days, you know?
A
Yeah.
hot mess, yes.
Man, bro. Dennis, don't be talking to me about that. Like I know what I'm doing. Yo, that's a lot. You gonna cover Nate in this episode anytime? I mean, I felt that story. It's like we talked about this on last live how I wanted more into her background, and we got, and
Yeah.
I guess somebody must have been listening to me because we got it in this episode.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um.
I heard somebody in
I
your
think
video, right, leave a comment about Val can't tank the case because it was given to her by her what's it called, law firm. But at this point, I mean, we have to throw away ethics and do and like right and wrong is wrong. You know what I
hey
mean?
Wanda, hey Coral, welcome in y'all.
So, so
That's the T. So like, yes, I do understand
Yeah.
what y'all are saying of like, oh, you can't just throw the case like that in your career. Okay, but Annalise Keaton was getting them kids off for dropping bodies every single season. And the person who attacked Ezra really attacked Ezra, and there's no other thing to it. So like, you using your powers for good could mean that you maintain your ethics, but you don't go as hard and like create this narrative that you know is not actually there, and just present the evidence as it is.
Yeah. But also, I mean, let's be fair here, people. Okay, if Simone can run around here trying to stay on the tennis team while doing radiation, while trying to freeze her eggs, then I mean, Val could tank this case. Okay,
Ooh.
I feel like it's only fair. It's only fair that she gets like. Well, I'm sorry, but Erica, when you said Val to tank the case, I lost it.
Wait, what?
When you said in your breakdown that Val should tag the case, I lost it. That was hilarious.
I was like, girl, be for real. And if this is what it costs you to get Nate back, then I think that this is a nice old price to pay. It ain't that deep. There's
Okay.
mishaps that happen all the time. Administrative errors happen all the time. The justice system does not work in the favor of people that it should all the time. Nobody is tripping if you decide to fail in this moment.
I agree.
That
you don't
part.
think maybe if this could, let's say she does what y'all are asking her to do, like what other law firm would give her a job? You know what I'm saying? If she intentionally did this, you know what I'm saying?
They don't have to find out. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
the person went immediately to, oh, she was gonna lose her job. Who's gonna know? He actually did it. She's not planting evidence and like saying that the boy did it and he didn't do it. He actually did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she actually did it. He
All I'm
actually
asking
did
for
it.
her to do is not get in her bag and try to figure out how to swindle this boy out of the consequences that he is due.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a fair point.
Because I mean, if she loses the case, nobody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're fired." So, like, lawyers lose cases all the time. This is not, suspicious at all. We're just saying, time gets. Think
You
that.
know, the doing the right thing might be more over than the rules.
I didn't hear you.
So we saying that that we gotta doing the right thing. Sometimes you gotta go over the rules.
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say
But
it was
also,
similar to
like, you
what Olivia?
skirting the rules. Honestly, she has to skirt the rules more to get this boy off than she would to actually have what's supposed to happen.
Would
She
we
should
say
be
it's similar?
convincing him to take a plea. That's what she should be doing.
Yes.
Facts.
Would we would we say it's similar to when Olivia leaked the tape?
No,
No.
What? No.
Not at all.
No.
Nothing like it.
No.
Why not? She breaking the rules for the greater good.
Because honestly, this is not
was it the
necessarily
greater
even breaking
good?
the rules. The person actually did it. There's witnesses to him actually doing it. Ezra can speak out to them actually doing it. Blood, whatever, fingerprints, whatever. The things that she has to go through to concoct a narrative to figure out some way for the jury to either sympathize with the actual attacker or recontextualize the whole circumstance is 100% outside of just presenting the evidence in front of the jury. So her doing that is not actually her breaking any rules.
Yeah. And I mean, the difference is like Olivia. That's
I feel like the moral
breaking and
the moral
proving.
compromise comes in when she's going to go to town and Olivia Pope this for the abuser.
Yeah, definitely.
She's not going to lose her job if she loses the case where the boy actually punched a man in the wheelchair. Why is that automatically what y'all think?
I don't know. It's law. It's law. It's ethics. It's like, you
The
took an
ethical thing
oath.
is not to get the abuser off for abusing people.
Oh yeah, that's
The
true.
ethical thing is to present your case for whoever is your client.
To the fullest.
Correct.
I get
Like,
that.
I don't go hard at people who defend people like defense attorneys like this. Like, defense attorneys do this all the time. You know what I mean? Defend people that are actually guilty of crimes that they've committed.
Right, but they're not
You know what I
defending people who are guilty of crimes exacted upon somebody who I want back in my life that I really care about. Every last one of those clients are not tied to them in that emotional way.
True.
Yeah.
Or she could just hand over the case to somebody else.
And there's plenty of people sitting in jail right now for crimes that they didn't
could do
commit
that.
because they're she can't do
That's
that
the
because it was
truth.
given to her.
Can't she just say that she has a conflict of interest?
She maybe could do that, but like it's
What would
interesting
be
to
the
me that y'all are
conflict of
going to the
interest?
place of she's gonna lose her job if she doesn't win this case. But there's countless people sitting in jail to this day for crimes that they didn't commit because defense attorneys were overworked or all of the things, like a myriad of reasons that cases don't get won that actually should get won. But this case getting lost and it should be lost is going to be the thing that upends her career.
I mean, I didn't say that, but
well, they said it in the chat.
Yeah, but I think the bigger question is, she came to reconnect with Nate, but now that just makes her question your intentions because you knew that you had this case. So why are you trying to reconnect now? And so,
she came for work first, and she thought that maybe since she's here, she can try to connect with me.
Not a fatter that.
but yeah, like I get that, but also like the relation to the case, like what you came here to do. So why are you like, oh, right now is the moment for a family reunion?
Wasn't this
Like,
similar to Amora and her sister? Didn't something like that happen between them? Like she came to visit in like season 2?
Yeah, but in what sense? Remind me, because I can't remember.
Me neither, child. I feel like she came and then she saw and then she got Zeke fired and she said, "You welcome, sis." Like I feel like that's what was tied to all that. So I ain't even mad at her for mixing business with pleasure. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or like with family.
Yes, she did that. She did that. I remember that. I can't remember why she came. Was this because of when when she wanted to make up with Simone and she wanted to make up with was that episode right?
Yeah, I think so.
Like the mom came and she was pretending, oh, I want to come and bond with you, so, and then someone found out the actual reason and then she apologized after and that. And then, I remember the fact where she got Zeke kicked out and like, you're welcome. That was the end of season 1. I think that's season 1. Yeah, if my memory still right, which is not very reliable. But I actually had this question in work whilst I was waiting to talk on the DC. Do you think if this element of love and care was shown to All American, we would have enjoyed it better the last season?
Oh.
I don't know. They already had storylines going in place that it was already too far gone.
I mean, maybe
if they would have put this love and care into season 4, maybe there would have been some saving it. And it's crazy that you brought that up because I have been fighting fighting the urge for the last 30 minutes to say something because I know that it's just going to get me another Reddit article.
Oh my
Not AMA.
But had they maybe put Olivia Baker in a circumstance that they are currently putting Simone Hicks into,
Oh Lord.
maybe
You
she
know
would have
what you're
actually
doing,
been
Eric.
something worth to watch.
You know what you're doing.
It goes with what Dominic just said. Dominic started it. I literally was really holding back and not saying it. But how can I not say that after Dominic just made that very, very valid question?
Yes, exactly, Erica. If that was the similar stakes, and Spencer was in school and was actually at the college whatever, he was practicing the football so that he could get to the level, and
Maybe
Olivia
if Olivia was
came back.
actually fighting something serious, maybe we could stomach some of her selfishness. She was just selfish for the sake of being selfish.
Her addiction was serious, right? I couldn't even say it without laughing.
Now you set me up, Dominic, because they're going to clip this like Erica laughing because Olivia's addicted. That addiction evaporated from her body in season 3, and we have never heard of it again. Okay? What addiction? The girl ain't addicted no more.
Ooh. We're getting
The
spicy
thing is,
in the chat.
The thing is, if
Olivia was the
because
most
I would've-
interesting, the most compelling, the most engaging as a character when she was addicted. Y'all do what y'all will with it.
Yeah, that's true.
When the story,
They did try to circle back after her dad died. With her looking at the bottle, calling everybody, saying that she wanted to drink, So they tried a little something, but it didn't last long, It was a one-off.
Yeah.
After season
because the reason why I asked you the question, Erica, is because you made because of the question when you said that if Damon left the show and this is what we actually getting, actually made me jump and say, okay, if this was actually implemented in some way in All American, Olivia came back from London and then she told Spencer, well, not only hiding the fact that she had Ashley as a girl instead of a boy instead of a girl, but she actually has this situation and she found out about this in London and she came back with the news and she's trying to find some way, shape, or form to tell the friend group or the vortex that she actually has cancer, to put some stakes into the show now. So that's how that question came about. I'm not too sure. That would story why. If that would work story
that would have
wise.
made sense why she got so close to Ashley.
Yep.
And why she was relying on him, and why their relationship got so blurred.
Close.
Because he was helping her through such a difficult. I feel like that would have been so much more compelling. And it would have given her so much more to work with. And as a story overall, I feel like I would have enjoyed that better, because then Ashley wouldn't just have fallen for her because she's Olivia Baker, but because he was investing in this person, giving up his time and his effort, like when she was going through this devastating moment in her life when she had nobody around but him, and he kind of enjoyed having to be everything for her. And now she's back with her community, and where does he fit in that? Especially now that she has no romantic relationship with him,
Yep.
But hey, they weren't thinking.
And it didn't even have to be cancer. It could have been an autoimmune disease. It could have been anything. Anything.
Yeah. As I say, when the story be storying and have us communicating, when the live stream be lasting for 5 hours instead of 1 hour, this is when the story be storying.
100%. So to answer your question, yes, if they would have put this kind of care into the story and not rely so heavily on these goofy ass ships, we might have been still cooking with gas.
Yeah.
We might have still be discussing it today because we wouldn't have been able to get all the meat off the bone.
Ooh.
You know?
Yeah.
I love that.
And freaking Lando did not annoy me in this episode. Like,
Lando don't never annoy
I
you.
think
That's your boy.
well, no, I mean, like, I have to put him, like, I have to have my hand up because I feel like he'd be doing too much and be a snake. But I knew there was a heart in there.
You,
So
Kofi, Lando.
Wait,
yeah,
wait, wait, wait. Not this coming from. Oh, whoop. Let me go back on mute. Hold on.
like, okay, y'all trying to say Lando ain't my favorite character. Stop playing. It's Jr. Okay.
We know
Okay,
that.
we,
Like,
we
But you
know.
got a
Okay, we
soft
know
spot for the
it's that.
men folk. You got a soft spot for the men folk.
yeah, but like, I'm just amazed at the emotional, like being a good person. Like I know you had it in you. What took so long, my guy? Like, whoa.
That part.
Mm.
Like, look
Yeah.
at how, like, he came into this thing, and then even at the end of the episode when he hugged Simone, like, you saw him in the corner smiling a little bit, and he joined in the group. How I'm like, huh. So this is what happens when you don't have jealousy and hate in your heart. Oh, this looks good on you.
Yeah.
Asha, if
It's competition.
sorry.
That's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
He don't want to
Yeah.
be alone no more.
Mm-hmm.
I really appreciate that they're not leaning heavily into the Simone, I want you, I need you, I just got to have you for him. I appreciate him maintaining a little bit of distance and keeping it friendly, keeping it cute, and staying focused on what's most important.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
But yeah, that's true. But he still got a thing for her. Like, I think he's still carrying the torch for her.
Sure, but
he's
he's
keeping
not
it
pressing it. I think that sometimes
right.
men
Yeah.
fall into this trap of like, oh, I feel this thing and I gotta say it now. Like we've had that conversation in this universe. Like Kofi, you've gone to bed of like, well, if he's in love, he needs to declare. No, it's not the right time. That is not the focus. This is not the time. I don't give a damn what you thinking and what you feeling. The girl has cancer. There's a lot happening. She's trying to still play tennis, freeze eggs, go through radiation. This is not the time for you to get to professing any damn thing. So you can still have your feelings, and they are your feelings.
No, I agree. I'm just saying he's keeping it player. He's biding his time, so to speak. So it's like,
I hate the way that sounds, though.
what? I'm just saying he's being patient and waiting. That's all I'm
But
saying.
that feels like saying he's biding his time makes it feel like the
different.
friendship isn't genuine. Like
Genuine.
he's just waiting for the chance to pounce.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he was touched a little bit by the group the last time when Simone disclosed that she had cancer and seeing how all of them showed up for her and being in that close proximity kind of maybe changed how he viewed the friend group and wanted to be a part of it in a more closer way that's not only tied to Simone but everybody else involved, because he does have one-on-one with JR, like he's in the same in KBK with Cam, so he has friendship within the friend group, but he's not tied to it. And I feel like you could see the shift in him after that meetup where everyone was there and he saw how they fully showed up for her in that moment.
Yeah,
I mean, I would
for
argue
you.
that he's not actually friends with Cam and JR. Cam is his pro-fight, and he is Cam's Neo.
That's true.
And JR is a former bro, no longer. And JR showing up for him and like going after baseball and being a great example because he's 100% acting as JR 2.0 in this episode. But I think that just doubles down on your point of like getting a glimpse into the family nest that comes with their friendship, and maybe deciding, having a shift of like, oh yeah, I kind of like this. I want to see if I can be a part of it. I think that's something that definitely happened for him.
And they don't
Because
open
for the
his heart.
entire okay,
I was saying
you
they
go
don't
ahead,
open.
Kofi.
I was just saying they don't open this man's heart. Like something has shifted where, like the way he was coming at Nate and being so supportive is like, damn.
We love to
Like,
see it. Oh, black man,
like
take note.
yeah, damn.
That's right.
It was crazy. I'm like, oh, okay. I see.
I,
You
I,
have
I,
something
I,
there.
I think it's due to the fact that Lando has been alone, well, by himself for the past 2 seasons. So the fact he actually saw that togetherness and they just came and support, didn't care. That probably what touched him and was able to open up his heart a little more. We love to see it.
No,
I tell you,
he
Erica,
was
when the
just a
story piece.
hater. He was just a hater in the beginning because he got a glimpse before.
All
Let's
right,
not
man.
forget.
He was a
Simone,
hater. He was heavy on his Cam from All American Bag. He saw Damon
he
relishing in
was.
all of it and was just like, "No, f that."
You see
I
how he
feel
made
like
mention last week
he just came
to
in with
Damon?
different eyes this time because like the first time, he was in there with different intentions. Cause
And it's
he
sad
he
because the
got a
different eyes
glimpse of
might
the
literally be
family.
tied to the fact that Damon not there no more. Can you only see clearly because Damon not here?
I believe so.
We hate that for you.
That is so
So
right,
what happens when
Erica.
Damon come back? Are you going back to putting this wall up? Are you going to feel thwarted because they come
Mm-hmm.
and run and hug him?
Definitely. Especially if he's not with Simone at the time. It's definitely going
Oh,
back.
Ooh.
See, now I'm going to temper. I'm going to temper my stuff with
right.
Lando, because if you just getting me nice and caught off guard for you to bring your villain back out when Damon pop back up, I'm gonna be pissed about that, Lando. I'm really gonna be
The,
pissed.
the pistol gonna be
Look at
light
him.
ablaze.
I'll give him a chance
I
to
don't feel
surprise
like
me.
he feels threatened by Cam or JR because they're both in relationships. So, and he don't get the vibes that Simone want, none of them. So he can let his guard down.
Phase 4 Fit Life said, I think Lando was cool with everyone except Damon, but the group was cool with Damon, so Lando was an outsider from them also. No, I think that I don't agree with that specifically because there has to be some type of mutuality, some reciprocity in friendship. Lando did not bother himself with concern about anybody other than himself and Simone last season. So even if people were trying to be cool with him, he did not care for anybody else. He did not actively do anything to facilitate a friendship. So they could be cool in passing or whatever, but the friendship isn't there because of Lando, not because Damon blocked it or because Damon was actually in the way. Lando literally moved about the world as if nobody mattered except for himself, and then when he started to get feelings for Simone.
True.
But alas, we have to wait and see. I'll be excited to watch next week's episode.
Hey, Mrs. Science, welcome in. I just dropped the Discord link. Is it bad that I won't be mad if Damon doesn't come back? It's not bad. I mean, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm saying when I say in my breakdowns I don't miss Damon, that was one of the biggest pieces of criticism that I had in episodes 2 and 3, or honestly episode 1 as well, because the Damon that we got was not the Damon that we left season 2 with, and I didn't appreciate it. And I missed him a lot. So when I say in my breakdowns, like, okay, I'm not necessarily missing Damon, it's because the story is full enough that the complex character that is Damon not being there is not as hard of a watch, not as startling of a difference. However, I would love to have Damon still on the show, but I don't mind him not being there if his only story is going to be his love and devotion for Simone Hicks and let her drag him through the mud.
Like one swing a bat or something on the field.
Damon not being there is not as hard of a
Mrs. Science, you're in here.
Would love to.
You gotta mute the YouTube, hon.
I do. I'm sorry.
No worries. You want to sound off?
Hi everyone.
Hi, Miss
Hi.
Cyan. Mrs.
How are
Cyan.
you?
Good. We're good. Sade, do I see Damon fitting into the storyline? No, but I also didn't see Thea fitting into it, and they're doing a pretty good job with that. So I'm hopeful.
To say something. I feel that the writers owe the audience an explanation with some background things with Thea because I don't really see her fitting in there.
Why not?
She all of a sudden, like, we're supposed to forget that, you know, she broke up with Damon. She was heartbroken when the season ended. She wanted to get back with him a year or something later. Like, what happened with that? Why is she so, like, all of a sudden she's there for Simone? I mean the natural thing and stuff like that. But I feel the writers owe us some type of something to give us to understand why has she progressed to this mature level that she can be friends with Simone, she can be supportive. What happened to her heartache?
Oh, I 100% agree that they dropped the ball and there's a bunch of holes there. But I was saying they are doing a good job in integrating her back into the fold because it makes sense to me. Like when I come back to Baltimore and I go visit my high school, one of the things that I would do is play with the team. When I go back, like I am playing in I'm not game at my grad school, for volleyball this homecoming that's coming up in November, I think. So it's not to me a shocker to see Thea come back and be like integrated specifically in the tennis, especially because she is in a spot that most of these girls are aspiring to be in. Now, the friendship with Simone, I get what you're saying. There's a lot to be desired in reference to a backstory for that. I'm just kind of suspending my disbelief for certain parts as it pertains to Damon because the other parts were there. It just would have taken time for them to get to that place. They want us to ignore the fact of how it was messy in reference to handover. So, okay, cool. And I think now that Simone got cancer, that changes everything as well. So, like, where we're at now, I can move forward with what they're doing with Thea because it's not her 100% being grounded in like only being here to support Simone and Simone is my big bestie, whatever. They're still holding true to little things about her, like Thea not necessarily liking to be hugged and like keeping people at a distance, but still trying to maintain a little bit of a semblance of friendship that she had started to cultivate before she left.
Yeah. And I also think that for Thea, she's always been about competition and being alone. And I kind of agree with Erica of that Nate and Simone and Damon were the first real breakthroughs that she had pertaining to having real relationship, real companionships. And I feel like for her, that would be the biggest loss. So while I do feel sad that we don't get to see her and Simone work through that rough patch, I can look past it as maybe Nate or the others helped them come to mutual grounds. And I feel like they present it in a way like they speak because the way Kesha didn't care for Thea, but when she saw her at homecoming, she ran to her and gave her the biggest hug, which shows that they've been in communication, like something changed in that dynamic, you know? So I feel like they've done a little stuff to show that her friendship with the group like progressed in some ways. We just didn't get to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, I can get with that. I can get with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciated Thea in this episode. She was the voice of reason along with Nate,
Yeah.
which is very telling. I mean, it feels like they was trying to say the same thing, but somehow, I don't know. I was surprised she didn't really. I thought legit she was going to tell the coach that she was sick, but instead she just said she wants to train her. So maybe this is her way of keeping her accountable, but at the same time, she's still maintaining the lie. So it's like, do I really want to give
Mm-hmm.
her credit for that? It's like,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Yeah.
it's hard. You know what I mean? So, I don't begrudge her for that, but it's like, if you care about her and you want her to be healthy, I would have said something, But I don't know. I guess we'll see how this plays out, though. For real, I don't think this secret's gonna stay for long. I think it's coming out by
Yeah.
the end of next week's episode, at the
Agree.
earliest. Yeah.
Yeah, because no, and since you're not gonna be hitting no balls with any rackets while you have radiation going on, that's not happening. Okay, that is just not happening. And if I see that on my screen, I can't listen because that is
Huh.
just not happening. That's not even anywhere near reality.
At all.
But then again, it is Simone, so it's the impossible for everything. She's going to make a way, and those writers, they're going to make her have the opportunity to make a way where, the average person, as you're saying, would not be able to do that. But this is Simone.
They better not. They better not take a page out of that book.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's like
You insult people that's going through that.
Back to back to back, 3 good episodes in a row. Who knew?
Hopefully not too much because the first one was a half. Now this is
Well,
two.
I thought it was above
That's
average.
true. Two.
Above
Two.
average. So back to back.
Two.
And third, and this episode next week feels like we might be getting a trend here. You know, there might be
Let's
another
hope
one.
so. Which is gonna suck
Hey,
because
let's
why are
not drink.
why do we
Are we lying to
ending
Auntie?
no, why are we losing this damn show and keeping the other if we're gonna get into our bag writing wise?
That part.
Yeah.
That part. I hope they use
But
this part of the brain cells for that next season. You know,
no next season.
Well, they talking
There's no
about
next
she's talking
season.
about All Americans next season.
I'm talking about the other show.
Forget that. That's
Yeah, she says this. She says this person and that author, and she puts it in heavy quotation marks. Who she's referring to? We don't know who she's referring to, but we know who she's referring to.
Thank
that.
you, Dan.
Ooh,
Mm,
no,
But you know
no.
what? I have a feeling this really gonna be it's gonna end bad because from what I've been reading and hearing that the way that it's going to end, that they're not going to be able to bring this show back. And I just have a feeling like they're going to have a leap in time and they're going to find themselves gathered at some place really bad.
yeah,
Simone's gonna
that's
die.
pretty.
Her cancer is gonna come back.
Oh
So
my
I
That's
God.
have
pretty
a
dark,
feeling with
if
something.
you ask me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I I would really be pissed off if that happened.
Oh,
I'm not saying
please.
let her be a
I was
tennis
joking,
champ,
guys.
but like that'd be a terrible ending to this series. To be quite honest with you, seriously, like I don't need
I have
that.
a feeling. Yeah.
I don't know y'all, but
Got a
I've heard
baby and a
similar
divorce
things.
before 19 and then dies. Oh God, cancer.
Yeah,
I don't
that's
think that they're gonna
all.
do that, but I'm not putting it past them.
What
Yeah,
is the
I can really
lesson that
see
you
that.
want us to learn from that, though?
Life is
That,
real.
Yeah.
that's
I
Life
life.
absolutely
life is
Life is
life
like
is
that.
real, and I'm sorry we lied to you on that other show.
That's why I say life a bitch and then you die.
Not everybody gets a happy ending, you know.
Nobody, not one when you first start reporting and your report gets, high qualified praise and it wants to be featured in the New York Times and sorry.
Not everybody
Flashback.
can go through life-changing surgery and then all of a sudden miraculously show up on the football field.
Oh my
there
gosh.
you go. But
Not too
I
much on
also
Kofi's
feel
boy.
I know one of the objectives of writing, good writing, is that you have to humanize sometimes the villain. and Simone has become a villain to me in this. And I can see her going through this, and then we will see why, she had to live her life and run all over and kiss this one and love this one and forget this one, jumping in it. And then it's going to humanize her. And I feel that's what's going to happen.
I don't think she's a villain. I think she's an anti-hero. You know?
Yep.
So maybe.
I would agree with that. Especially when Damon was on the show. He was the hero.
Yeah.
And she's the anti-hero.
Like, so when this show started, wasn't we presented with the idea that she was the main protagonist and then like Damon was the other protagonist? Like,
yeah, but
isn't
that
that
just
what
speaks to them
this
being the
show-
leads of the show. I believe
Okay.
that Olivia was also an anti-hero. I have felt that from season 3. I just never released a video where I articulated it. I recorded a video where I did that, but I was like, oh, this feels a little too heady, and I'm already being dragged, so I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
I would call her a villain, but I see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely anti-hero. And I sometimes I wonder how they come to these decisions about who should be an anti-hero, because I feel like, especially with Olivia, not to waste time on All American, but especially with her, I felt like they really took a turn with her character that I just wasn't expecting them to take her that way, especially where they started her off, where she was like my favorite character. And then we kind of divulged into, ooh, girl, what are you doing? No, I don't know about that. I'm just
I
like
honestly don't
interested
believe
in
that
that.
they actually planned for her to be the anti-hero. Like, I don't believe that they planned for Simone to be the anti-hero. I think that they thought that their selfish, self-centered rhetoric in the characters that they created was going to go over the way that they intended. I 100% believe that they are intending for Olivia to seem like this amazing girl that's just like, yes, let's root for her. And they're not realizing, they're not understanding how tone deaf they are to an audience that has evolved past just taking certain things for face value. And then if it didn't work with Olivia, it damn sure wasn't going to work in a browner body. So I don't believe that they actually set out and like have on a board Simone is the anti-hero. I think that it's something that accidentally happened because of the things that they were doing with her character.
Yeah, okay, I see.
I also think that the writers weren't given the room because they always felt insecure about like if the show was going to end, is this going to be the last season? And I think that everyone just started like throwing spaghetti on the wall to see what stuck, because they
I don't
needed
know if
to
I
get
believe that
Simone to a
either,
certain place.
because they did they like tested out all of these ideas on All American, and that has been greenlit. Like, that has experienced season after season of it being greenlit before it premieres, it being greenlit the day it premiered. Like, so I would give them that if they weren't coming from the same place, or they weren't coming from a place of another show where they built this show off the back of another show and then they're just following the exact same playbook.
Yeah.
Understandable.
I think that Homecoming always has the potential to be canceled, but because it's not just the only thing that y'all are working on, it's less room for you to be like, oh, I'm just being nervous, because you took no big swings over on the original series either. So now it's your excuse.
But then again, the original, it was like a biracial type of thing. When you're dealing with subjects of Black and schools, and it didn't have, they didn't get the traction. That's what I look at.
But All American did start off I think All American started off very Black.
It did not start off biracial focus.
Midway through is when they decided to lean in the lighter direction. But when it started off, like, you could feel the Blackness jumping off the screen. And I feel like All American Homecoming gave them the opportunity to relive that again, because they already was so far gone with All American that they like couldn't go back there, because it
No.
just wouldn't make sense for All American anymore because of how they've been writing. So with Homecoming, they could go back and address the themes that they neglected in All American. But I think the writers saw all of the tweets that were praising the ships and that were praising like how certain characters, that they felt like that was working with the pre-established audience that they were re trying to get to invest in All American. So they wanted to keep some of those tropes and some of those stories because they felt like it would resonate the same with that same louder part of the audience. And it just doesn't work.
Yep.
It really doesn't work. And I think that kind of goes back to, I feel like a few lives ago, we were discussing the writers not really paying attention to what the audience is saying rather than
I think they're
just
paying
like
attention to what the audience is saying. They're just paying attention to a very small subset of it.
well, I mean, yes, but also I feel like when you write something, you have like an intention for the story and you have an intention for the characters and you have a couple of ideas. Well, I just mean me personally when I write, that's kind of how I go about it. So in terms of like the ships, I'm wondering if maybe it might have to do more with what the network might think is popular. And so they're like, yeah, you need to like push Bolivia, like push that like in the entire season. And that's when we get like these cringy T minus so and so many days to Bolivia wedding.
I still throw
Yeah,
up
because
thinking
to
about
me,
that.
yeah, because to me, I feel like that's not something I would ever think would be necessary to write, especially if you're trying to propel a story forward.
Right.
So I feel like, yeah, like that in itself just so like it just screamed to me, oh, the network is pushing this. Network wants this to
No, I'm
be.
gonna be honest. I think they did that.
I
They
would
went
agree.
and asked for the two episodes for that Bolivia wedding so that they could have that countdown. Yep, yep.
Yeah.
I think they wanted
I
that.
would,
I don't think that was the CW.
Well,
Not
I,
messy
I
I
at
mean,
think
all.
I would say it probably was the network too, because when you look at
You guys, I'll
like
be right back.
the,
Don't go crazy and get my
the
channel banned.
range, when you look at all of the ranges of the shows that have been on that network, a lot of those shows have a very strong ship war uh, culture to it. So I don't put it past the network to be like, hey, yeah, we want to push these two ships. Because when you think about all the other shows that are around that same network, they all have similar issues.
That's true because when I think about they did Arrow, the ship name did make it to the show. When I think about the Flash, the ship name did make it to the show.
yeah.
Um yeah, but I feel like that T minus I don't think they told them to do that T minus 1 day to Olivia wedding.
Uh, but I
I
mean,
I
I
think
think,
she
yeah,
wanted that.
maybe the network may not have said that, but at the same time, if you know, okay, this is something that, the network will like, you might sometimes want to write within the direction of something that would they would like approve of or something that they would admire, I suppose. But oh my God.
But NK said that she went to them and she had to beg in order for them to get those 2 episodes because they said it was so important. So she
Right.
said I don't think they were going to give it to her, give it to them. And she
Yeah.
went and begged. She was like, "You have to have this wedding."
Well, I saw that she went on asked, like in an article, I saw they said that she asked for the 2 episodes. Not necessarily beg, because I don't know. I feel like what was mentioned before, the network seems to really be for like what the audience is saying on Twitter and online. And
Yeah, but I feel
ships.
like towards the end of the show, like if you look at the CW right now, they're like
Yeah,
moving away from certain programming, which is why they cut the season and why she
yeah,
had to ask in the first place to get
yeah,
those two episodes. So I think it comes down to a mixture of the writers wanting
yeah,
to finish Spolivia's story because they weren't sure if either actors would come back for season 7. So they really wanted to like make sure that
right,
nothing was left on the table with them. And
yeah,
then the network facilitating that. I feel like if anything, I would say the network told them to push Bolivia like in the beginning, like
yeah,
around season 3 when it was at its peak.
yeah. I mean, yeah, I get that. I feel like it's a combination of both, definitely. Um, but yeah, like I get what you mean in terms of the possibility of losing 2 actors and then going into season 7. But honestly, I don't know what they're gonna write for season 7. Like, I have no idea where they could possibly go with this at this point.
And this
And
is where I chime in, y'all. If you're not interested in
Mhm.
season 7 of All American, there was a show that was renewed today for season 2. It was Supercell. I don't know if you all saw the show. And that's my
Oh
little
yes.
1 cent.
Well, I've
So
I've seen it. I have to watch it. I everybody say it's really good.
you only need to get into it
What
right
is it
now. I
called?
don't need to Supercell. I don't mean to hijack Erica's live stream, but
Oh,
It's
Oh, she
okay.
would love it.
Oh yeah, I
She'd love
finally got
it.
around to watching it.
Yeah,
I have to
I
watch
still have to watch it. Yeah, I still have to
it
watch
on
it.
Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's on
yes,
Netflix.
it's on Netflix.
I like the
It got
format
renewed today.
What are we talking about?
for the episodes. Supercell.
Oh,
Supercell got renewed today
Yeah, I
for season
saw.
2.
I like the format for the episodes.
well,
It
I
made
have to
it
check that out.
It's really good.
go
Mm-hmm.
by faster to me.
yeah. Oh,
The pacing was
oh,
good.
not only that, Bel-Air is coming back in 2 days on Thursday.
Woo!
They
Ooh.
You
dropping.
know
I think
what?
they're dropping the first 3 episodes on Peacock. So
Peacock
wait,
don't
is
want
it
me to
yeah,
watch the show, y'all.
What?
what?
Peacock don't want me to watch it
Did you not pay the membership? What happened? Why people don't want to watch it?
because I'm being serviced all this propaganda about this stupid Lisa, Will, Jackie love triangle, and I'm not here for it. They're trying to tell me
so
they don't
what?
want me
You're
to
not
watch it
gonna
without
watch
telling
it?
me. I'm.
So you're not gonna
It's
shit?
not looking good, Kofi. I ain't even gonna hold you because when I tell you I'm not here for Jackie, I am not here for Jackie.
Okay, fine, but like nothing ain't happened yet, like
Why are
low
they pushing
key.
it? Why it's
Oh
on my
yeah, they did
homepage
drop
on
a video
YouTube?
on.
Why is it
Oh
a
yeah,
video on an official Peacock account chronicling the love triangle between Will, Lisa, and Jackie? Don't nobody care.
I think maybe they're trying to get us prepared for some mess to happen in season 3. I think that's
See,
why they
now they didn't
pushed
turn
it.
me
Absolutely not.
off. They didn't turn me off already. I don't even care. I don't give a damn
Oh my,
how much Tokyo drifting Carlton's ass is doing. If Jackie got too much of a role, I'm out.
oh my gosh, you really just go be out. What about everybody else? That's not the only aspect of the story. Like
I
you're
know that,
not
Erica
Kofi.
trying
You need
said
to
to.
go
season
tell the.
3.
You need to go tell Peacock that. I know that.
Yo, that's petty. That's petty.
Of Peacock, I know. See, we be seeing each other. We on the same page.
Oh, lordy, lord. Like
I'm not
that's
here
not
for
the
these
only thing on the.
love triangles, y'all. Like, I just really am not. If you're not going to give me this quadrangle that they giving me with Kesha, Cam, JR, and Gabby, where there's so much more meat to it, then I don't want it. If it's not Tariq, Diana, other one and other one. I don't want it. I don't want no more Bolivia love. I don't. It's trite and it's tacky.
Agreed.
And Will is in a stupid Bolivia love situation. Lisa was always that girl. Jackie could never. She's sitting over here cosplaying a black girl, and I can't.
Okay, not her. No, okay, now I'm not. Look, no, okay, never mind. Look, the thing is, it's like maybe they got some unfinished business that they gotta
don't.
address. I don't know.
What is it?
I mean,
what needs to be addressed?
I don't know.
What needs to be addressed, Kobe?
I don't know.
As I eat my lake trout,
That's why I'm going. That's why I'm going to tune in on August 15th. I'm here for all this.
Tell me how it go.
Okay, fine. I mean, you missing out. I mean, you. I mean, besides that, I'm gonna support my brethren Jeffrey Bodman, and you know, I mean, you stayed Vic Mensa. So what? You're not gonna try and tune in for Vic Mensa? You're not trying to see what Vic Mensa be doing? Like,
I dislike Jackie so much that I will catch the edits of whatever Vic Mensa does.
I don't think she's gonna be a big part of the story, man. I think she's it's just one aspect. Like, that shouldn't deter you from watching. Like, that's I'm gonna be really disappointed, like, for real.
Well, you better call up Peacock and tell him stop playing with your girl.
I ain't going there with you, E. So.
I don't think y'all realize how heavy and how hard the Jackie character hit me. And watching that season, that was already like started out very disappointing. When watching, so like we did the rewatch a couple weeks ago. We watched the first 4 episodes. Everything about Jackie's introduction was contrived. She seemed performative, and the way that Will propped that girl up as if she was Jesus himself, come back, was just a slap in the face to black women, specifically dark-skinned black women. I know that Lisa's not dark-skinned, but like 2 black women. And a reminder of how readily black men will run outside of our community to uplift and pedestalize these women for goofy ass reasons, for trivial ass, aesthetic ass reasons. And I don't think that y'all really register that is my beef with it.
So
the centering of Jackie in any way just reaffirms this narrative that we already get reaffirmed on a daily. I don't need Peacock to continue to sell me Lisa is better in her biracialness and or non-blackness. They gave us absolutely nothing to show her actually being better. Her dance move was whack as hell. She was whack as a person. Like, everything about her was mediocre at best, and she was presented like a damn princess. Meanwhile, Lisa gets dragged through the mud. Operating in excellence.
So if that's the case, why is she back then?
Kofi, that is why I don't want to watch. Because she don't need to be back. There is no unfinished business. You asking the wrong person.
Eric, I'm telling Kofi, let me know how the episode goes. Let me know how the episode goes.
I just think the whole show shouldn't suffer because of one character. If that's the case, then
I think that the Peacock executive should know that.
Like, if that was the case, yeah, you should have stopped watching All American for Olivia. Then, like, damn.
Kofi.
Well, I don't. I actually, quiet as kept, I actually don't dislike Olivia to the degree that I dislike Jackie.
I can see that.
Olivia started someplace. Jackie didn't start no place and definitely didn't finish no place.
True.
Erica, did I hear you right? Did you say that you want mess like Cam, Kesha, and JR? You like that?
I don't like the mess, but I'm saying if I have to have the love triangle, it needs to have something more to it other than this surface level. Oh, I like you. I want to bump uglies, and oh, you're cute. Now I want to bump uglies with you. To me, I feel like they're adding layers to the Cam, Kesha, JR, and Gabby love quadrangle that makes it actually interesting and makes it feel like it's grounded in something and it's not trivial and it could 100% be organic. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. Oh, Jada Campbell in the comments is saying that the actress that played Jackie was also on Homecoming. She played Kesha's ex in the first season. And I'm like, damn, I was starting to wonder, did she look?
Lisa.
She does look familiar. I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, where did I see
Mhm.
her from? And then I was rewatching Homecoming a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh shit, that's her.
I mean, there's no
So
shade to the actress. I don't have no beef with the actress, but the character can kiss my ass.
Oh shucks.
she seemed taller in that episode than in Bel-Air because she seems short. I mean, maybe that's just how the camera was framed. I don't know. Like,
I don't know. Y'all all
ugh,
watch Bel-Air. Am I the only one who have this kind of beef with Jackie as a black woman?
I don't.
Sophie,
I
I didn't
mean,
ask you.
I'm
I didn't ask you. I
inconsequential.
know that you don't have no beef with Jackie. As a
No,
black
no,
man,
like
I
I'm not
understand that you
saying
have no beef with
I.
her.
Oh my.
I don't hate her, but I don't love her at the same time. It's
Okay,
like
but I'm asking the black
she.
women
No.
specifically.
From the moment she came on the screen, we had beef, okay? From the from the moment she came on the screen, I was like, no. We're not about to do this to my girl Lisa, okay? No, please. So yeah,
Really
no.
feel any kind of way because I feel that there was times that he needed to grow, and I think that he was too he wasn't mature enough for the real woman. So I thought that the writers was like letting him go through these changes, and then he would end back up with who he's supposed to be with. That's the way I felt. He's very childish. He's trying to find himself. He's mad at everybody. So I didn't think I just thought that the writers wrote that way, like just bring in Lisa.
Yeah. I mean, I get that. I just think it was for me it like just turned me off her immediately because I feel like, oh wow, not this again. If we have to see it in real life. And now you're showing it to me on my screen, I'm triggered.
I mean, I think
Okay,
it's
get
one
her
thing to
away.
have him dating somebody else, which is perfectly fine. My issue became the pedestalization of Lisa. It was so apparent. I mean, of Jackie.
Jackie, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can be a man who doesn't necessarily know what he wants or knows what to do, whatever. But magically, somehow, you come up with all the reverence, all the honor, all the loyalty to the little biracial and or mixed non-black girl that comes up next. But you couldn't find it for the black woman. Interesting.
Well, I hate
See,
to let you guys know, but one thing I will say: when a man wants what he wants, he knows how to act. Trust me.
Right, but it just reaffirms you could do that for that because you have an ideal of something that you don't ascribe to black women.
I
That's
thought
how
she
it
That's
is
was a
in the
right.
real
light-skinned
world.
black woman. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't think she was mixed. I thought she was just a light-skinned black girl.
She is actually biracial in real life, but on the show,
Oh,
she looks Mexican. She looks of Latin descent only.
oh.
And her
Well, maybe
cosplaying with
it's
them big ass hoops and them goofy ass cargos literally just look like I'm dressing up like a black woman today, like me.
Well, I mean, it's as you say, it's just reflecting reality. If you looked at the basketball team for the Olympics, every black man there has something like a biracial woman or half. The only one who has a black wife or woman was LeBron James, but his kids,
Ask me how many of them games I watched.
zero.
none.
Okay, so at least
Zero.
you know that Erica stands
It's,
on business.
You was
Oh
telling me
yeah.
about the games, so them just was lit.
Period.
that,
I saw the clips
so,
of the
Yeah.
South Sudan game, which I was hoping that South Sudan was going to bust Team USA ass, but other than that, no.
so we're not rooting for USA now.
Did I say what I
So we got a
said?
problem with the NBA. So we got a problem with the NBA ballers.
I
So
didn't
we
say I
not
had a
fucking
problem with
with.
them, but them South Sudan boys was balling, and they deserve.
Yeah, well, they did their thing, but we
Sophie, I'm not about to
America, we
argue with
got
you
the
about
big guy.
everything. I said what I
Okay,
said. It's not going to change the
just saying.
fact. They
I'm
lost
just
by
Can I
1
all I was gonna
point.
address
say.
chat?
Yeah,
Can
but
I address someone in the chat?
Yeah, go for it.
Kendre Harris North. Kende Harris North said that they would be very upset if Thea and Damon got the happy ending. Well, I hope you be upset, okay?
I don't actually see a happy ending for Thea if she winds up back with Damon, so there's that.
We have to see it.
Yeah. Oh,
Damon
I
played in
have
her
a
face way too much. I don't know what he would get something out
yeah.
of that 100%, but like what does she get out of it? Ain't
Nothing.
nothing changed about her other than her being more of amazing and being pro now. She's the same girl that you didn't come back to. But now you
Oh
gonna
my
come back
God.
to her?
I
Yeah.
don't think
Somebody
that's good.
here saying Crenshaw Cam needs to get with Keisha's as revenge.
Steph Curry
Guys,
was the
what?
best player out there. I would agree. I really enjoyed Steph Curry's documentary on Apple, but I saw it like a year early at Sundance. I don't have beef with all the NBA
Oh, I
players, but I
see.
don't necessarily. I don't idolize them. Like I don't idolize a lot of people. Like I have unlearned and deconstructed a lot of stuff. So when I say certain things as it pertains to certain TV shows, please understand that shit is manifesting in my life as well. I avoid Jackies in real life.
Okay, then that's
I avoid men who
understandable,
pedestalize Jackies in real life.
and I get that.
Understand that,
So
but you know what? It's unfortunately people they feel the sign of success is getting with someone that they probably would have never had if they didn't have these opportunities.
100%. But you won't take my eyeballs and put them on the Nielsen ratings and say that you're a #1 show and I supported that. The way that I actually use a little bit of power that I have is I actually control where my attention goes. And I will check out if you no longer actually align with something I want to support or think should be going further. So if Bel-Air comes into the season and they're doing too much on Jackie, my ass is going to check out because I don't want to see it. I don't care. I think that particular storyline is overshadowing all of the other things that you could be doing. It's counterproductive.
and I'm of the opinion I don't think that's going to be the main storyline. I feel like a lot of this
It
is
don't
going to
have to be the
be,
main storyline. If it's too much, it's too much. Because it shouldn't be there anyway. We had a resolution for it. Why is she back?
which
When
is
is it
why
coming? Because I'm gonna go back and watch.
August 15th.
Okay,
So
I
in
gotta
2
go
days.
back
All right, Mr.
because that's
Science.
the only thing I knew. Yeah, I gotta go back and watch it.
Yeah, I'm already caught up. I've been watching it, just anticipating what's going to happen in season 3 because it looks fire. So yeah.
Yeah.
Life has been good, right? Life was good.
Yeah.
I don't mean to
Yes.
sound like that because I have to go. I have to go and sleep. It's already 11 o'clock, and I have
Thank you
work
so
in
much,
6
Dominic.
hours.
No, we need to go ahead and shut it down. We're on 3 hours.
All
So
right. Well,
everybody, this is about right and about time. Thank
yeah,
y'all
it's
so
It's
going
much
good
to
for
to
go
hear.
providing
live.
y'all's
It's
dope
kind of
insight.
cool.
What do you say?
I said I ain't gonna
It's
lie. It's
good to
kind of
hear from
cool.
different
You on this side of the time zone.
You ain't gonna
Mm-hmm.
lie, it's better. I need
Yep.
to be more considerate of the East
Yep.
Coast folks. I'm gonna try.
Yeah,
Being over
Yep.
here, I
Please.
realize that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Florida. I'm on Florida, so when you be going live at 9:30, it's like, or whatever time you go live, it's like almost 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on the East Coast. So it's
Yeah.
kind of nice being out here at 7, 8 o'clock. So appreciate that. I'm not saying you got to do it all the time, but it was a nice change up. Feel me?
Okay.
Yeah, it was nice. I did like it.
It
I
was
enjoyed
nice.
it as well.
I just wanted to say before we go, Kofi, I'll be looking out next week episode to see if how Cam confronts and if because I think you were talking in last live about if we think Cam's gonna talk to Gabby about what he saw. So if
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, when that's going
Mm-hmm.
down, I'll be like, wonder what Kofi's thinking.
I fear you. I fear you about to crash out.
Send
Gabby
her
is going to
Instagram.
kick Keisha's behind.
Send her
Gabby
Listen,
is
Instagram
going to
video,
I'm
Kofi.
gonna make a room right now for homecoming. So if you watch it and you wanna respond, I'm gonna make this room so that y'all have it, and you could just tag
Thank
Kofi like,
you.
"Did you see
Yes,
this?"
yes. I'm gonna be like, Kofi, are you seeing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here on
I
Discord, you
feel.
can go ahead and get it off.
Last thing I want to
Mm-hmm.
ask: y'all think she gonna
For
tell the
you.
truth if she's confronted about this, or she gonna
No.
lie?
I don't think she
She's gonna
knows
She
the
lie.
truth.
doesn't even know the truth.
That's
Yeah,
the
I don't
T
think she
right
knows the
there.
truth.
What do
Mm-hmm.
you define it
Yeah.
as truth?
Like her feelings. Like
She
if she
doesn't know
acts.
her feelings.
Yeah,
If,
I don't think she knows what they are.
see, I
I think
refuse to
I
believe
think
she's
Cat
not
needs to leave
aware.
her alone and let her
I,
figure it out.
I refuse
Yeah.
she's not at least somewhat aware.
Oh, this definitely
Y'all
reminds me of my
women,
friend.
y'all are perceptive. Y'all know when something's up. So I'm not gonna give her that pass.
Not y'all
I think she
women.
knows.
Y'all
Let me
women.
tell you, when Gabby
Kofi, what you mean?
I feel like
Kofi,
this
what you mean by that
episode.
statement?
I feel like this
Wait, I
episode
just
was the
said
first
y'all be
episode where
knowing,
she
like y'all have
realized
that gift of
something was off.
knowing, like you guys
No,
are, you have that.
they surprised me too, but they just know. They just know. They just pick
Hold
up on
on,
things.
hold on. Wait,
Like,
Antonio, what you say?
I said I think this episode was the first episode where she realized something was off between her and JR. That's why she paused outside of the room before she left.
Right. So Kofi, to your point of like we be knowing as much as we can articulate in a moment. I think that she knows that something is up, but I don't think that she has the words to say, "Oh, I'm in love with JR." So if she doesn't say that, it won't make it a lie.
I think she feels something for him, but like I don't think she fully understands the depth of
Right.
what she feels, you know? Because
Yeah.
it could be a fleeting crush. Like we don't know if she, I mean, I
That's
think
true.
she in love.
That's true. That's true.
People develop crushes all the time and it doesn't go anywhere. It's just fleeting.
Yeah.
So I feel like she hasn't been given the room or the time to fully look into like how do I feel about JR for real, for real. Like am I crushing? Am I in love? Am I falling? How deep? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we shall see next week, Monday.
But
Yes.
I do want the season to end with Cam getting his lick back. If he doesn't get his lick back, if she doesn't apologize, coming saying, baby, please, I love you. I was playing with myself. I didn't understand. Cam got to get his lick back in some way for me
This
to be
definitely the last
satisfied.
straw for him. I think. He can't keep saying no more secrets and then
More
Yeah.
secrets.
No more secrets and just more and more secrets. Just
Literally.
truly.
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for
All right, y'all.
joining. Shout out to y'all. See y'all
Thank
next
you,
week.
Erica.
Good
All
night.
right.
Erica, Erica, can you just do me a favor really quick? Could you have like a special segment that you can do some unreleased stuff that you had? Because I think you had a lot of ideas for
I
like
did.
Homecoming and All American, and there was a lot of stuff. So if you could do a series like that called What Could Have Been, something like
I
that.
mean, if y'all still want to see some of the stuff that I actually recorded and I never finished editing, I will release it. I don't have a problem with that because it's there.
Please. I like that. I hope you see that because I see your writer's mind, especially when Damon was going through his craziness. And I remember you said this, you looked it up. This is what Damon has right here. Right
I
here.
did a whole, I like literally researched and I have a whole like essay that I wrote. Yeah. And then time.
Yes, do that. Release that. Yeah.
Okay. I could do that.
Thank you guys.
Release the Erica cut. Exactly.
Erica. That's fine.
I will.
All right,
I got
night,
y'all.
everybody.
Thank
Have
y'all.
a
Have a
Good
good
night,
one.
guys.
Thank you, Erica.
night.
Good night.
Good to
All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us for another All American Homecoming Live. We're gonna see you next week. Hopefully it's another phenomenal episode. If you're watching this on replay, feel free to drop your thoughts, your theories, your comments in the comment section down below. Just please keep it cute, y'all. Please, because the way some people be trying to stress me out with these comments, I don't understand it. But I appreciate you nonetheless. See y'all next week. Tomorrow, there's no New Sisters episode, but I do have New Sisters videos still coming, so be on the lookout for those. Thursday will be back to normal with the family business if you watch that. And then I got to figure out if I'm going to be watching Bel-Air. I'm going to at least watch the first episode. Again, y'all, if it's too much Jackie, I'm out of there because I can't. There's certain things that I curate my life, I curate my experiences, and I will expose myself to certain things, but other things, I'm like, it's not worth it for me. So depending on how that goes, we'll see if we'll be doing Bel-Air lives maybe on Friday. Be on the lookout on a community tab for me to do the announcement specifically for that. And the only other thing coming up is Reasonable Doubt in about a week. So if you haven't watched season 1 of Reasonable Doubt, we'll get into it because season 2 will be back. I appreciate y'all so very much, and I'm going to see you in my next one. Coral said, please watch. We gonna see. We gonna see, honey. Good night.